uh, Halloween. Today's the day. Yeah. Get this. Let me. Here. Actually, hold on. Let me get. Wait, here. Hold on. Let me get this here. Okay. All right. We're good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sea Monster Live number 55. Happy Halloween, Antonio. This is the Sea Monster Live Halloween special. Yeah, got a we got a video to cover um today. So just gotta wait for more people to show up. Yeah. Next day, it's all gonna be All Saints Day. Well, actually, where, yep, I mean, yeah, true. I don't know if it's, yeah. Well, here actually, it would also be Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, which is the Spanish Day of the Dead, or, or Mexican Day of the Dead. So, yeah, even though October would end, I still kind of find myself observing spooky season for a couple of days after. Just it tends to go into overtime essentially. What can I say? I like the. I don't want to let Halloween go like soup so easily. But yeah, we got a video to cover today, and of course it's a video on Nosferatu, the film that came out last year. So figured that would be pretty suitable for the occasion. I wanted to kind of do this stream like a little sooner, but the timing and so on, and just kind of like of stuff going on, life, work, um, making scheduling a lot more difficult. And plus, I kind of wanted to space this one out away from the uh, the Superman debate at Gojin's channel. So yeah, so that's kind of why I've sort of opted to sort of wait until today to do this stream and just sort of retrofit this as as the Halloween special. But I guess while people are waiting, I suppose pretty much the pre-up, considering that this is a Halloween stream, we could also talk a bit about like spooky stuff, scary stuff, whatever scary movies we like, you know. Before we get into a video about Nosferatu 2024. So, yeah. Hmm. Excuse me. Clear my throat, actually. Yeah, so it's gonna take a bit. These streams usually start just shy of earlier than scheduled. It is what it is. I don't know. I can't help it. Something's wrong with me. Yeah, but yeah. I'm gonna sit back and wait. Yeah. After this stream, I'm pretty much gonna be going out and partying. You know. Oh, that's kind of the what we got going on here. That's kind of why I don't really have plans of this stream going on for any longer than like until like later, much later in the afternoon. Yeah, because I know that everybody may have some plans for Halloween or just plans in general. I don't know. Yeah, let me see. Just do a check. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm also sort of chipping away at a new video that I'm working on. I'm scripting for it. Hopefully, I'll have it done by the end of the year, but I'm not making promises just yet. Exactly. Like I'm just saying, being a hopefully optimistic. Hello, Minecraft. Hello, MW 1954. Hmm. How's how's Halloween treating so far? Yeah, because yeah, this morning I kind of given a slasher classic a much needed watch through essentially. Um, it's been years since I first watched it. You just woke up. Okay, so it's only so your Halloween has just started. Nice. Um, but yeah, so this morning I gave a nice little watch through of Scream, the original from 1996, Wes Craven. Been years since I first watched it, and I've been meaning to, you know, check it out again in the future, but I never got around to it. But you know what? But I stumbled upon it. Well, a triple feature set of like the first three films at Walmart for like $5, and I decided, yeah, what the hell? Why not? And so got it. And then this morning I watched Scream. Still holds up. I gotta say it's a really it's really good. Um, Very entertaining movie. But yeah. And yeah, I guess to somewhat stay a little bit on topic about Nosferatu through the video that we're going to be covering in a bit here. Um, yeah, I mean, I also gave Nosferatu a watch through for the spooky season thing. Um, because I've kind of been watching spooky movies all month essentially. Um, yeah, Nosferatu 2024 is. I made a video praising it up and down, and I kind of stand by them ultimately. Like my conclusion on it being a modern gothic masterpiece. In terms of it being a gothic horror masterpiece that was made today. And just one of the best Dracula adaptations out there. Um, nice. But yeah. And so yeah, this video that we're about to cover, hopefully pretty soon once more people come in and show up. Because I've sent the StreamYard link to the Discord as well as as well as some DMs. Either that or the original Frankenstein. Oh yeah, yeah. I watched Frankenstein 1931 like at the start of the month. Um, Actually, I did it as part of a double feature with Bride of Frankenstein, so which is pretty much as fitting as you can get because they're both meant to like go together essentially. Because you got like the first movie, and then you have like this direct sequel that takes place immediately right where the first film left off. I mean, like kind of like I said in my essay video on Bride of Frankenstein a few years ago, there's some like discrepancies in continuity that are like not huge, but but when if you've especially watched the first 1931 film right before it, it's pretty easy to it's kind of hard to not notice. Um, like I mean, like for example, like the Burgomaster looks nothing or even it doesn't really act all that much like how he appeared and how he was in the first film. Not just in appearance, but in terms of just characterization as well. Um, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, like I get that that movie was made 4 years after the event after the first film, and when they made the first film, like the idea of a sequel wasn't really that common of a thing. Um, was kind of maybe even a bit of like a foreign concept at the time, but um, it doesn't really change that some of those like discrepancies are still present. Um, Even if they are like they're not like huge discrepancies to the point where it just makes you wonder what like wow this story would be completely different if these discrepancies weren't there. Unfortunately that's kind of a thing that Frankenstein sequels after Bride kind of suffered from. um, like for example like in Son of Frankenstein, the like Frankenstein's lab in the old Universal films, like mainly in the like in the first two films, was like in a watchtower, an abandoned watchtower, like outside of town. But then Son of Frankenstein retcons it to where the lab, or the remains of the lab after it was destroyed at the end of Bride, are basically like just outside of Frankenstein's estate. So really, not even that far away from town. Um, so that's not really that's an issue that can raise some issues, especially if you watch Bride of Frankenstein and what happens in that film. Pertaining to like a villain character who tries to strong arm Frankenstein to um, essentially help him create the bride, or even like just mess with how Frankenstein was able to get away with doing his first experiment in the first film. But yeah, hi Cascade or Lao. All are welcome to come on this stream. All right, we'll see you in a bit. But yeah, we're just kind of talking some miscellaneous spooky season stuff, spooky movie stuff for now. But yeah, we got our first guest here. Who we have, Mr. Lau.
Hi, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Yeah. Yeah, have you noticed? Doing pretty good. Have you noticed the overlay that I've got going on
Yeah,
here?
yeah, it's nice.
wondering if it like shows up like on the stream for people watching it on YouTube.
I like it. But, to me, I can see it fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And here on stream too, by the way, like it's nice. How long did it take?
The overlay, it's just kind of like one of those defaults. I think it's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
thing that
StreamYard
StreamYard
gives
that's
it to
built
you,
in.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just kind of a it's something that StreamYard made. I didn't really do anything with it. They just kind of like say like, hey, you could put this overlay on here if you like.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, sure, what the hell. But yeah, I mean, we're just kind of waiting for people to show up maybe for a bit before we
Okay.
get started with the video in question. Which hopefully
Is
will be.
this the Adam video, I guess?
It's not that long of a video. It's like about what, like 14, 15 minutes, something like that.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's about how apparently Nosferatu 2024, how its storytelling is what may call incompetent.
Oh, but is it Adam that made this?
No, it's not Adam.
Oh my God! So we have a new contender for critic reject of the year, apparently.
um, I mean, well, here's the thing. Obviously, the guy that we'll be talking about here, he's not as big as Adam. So, I would just say, I pretty much I suggest that we would recommend to be cordial and civil with him. Just kind of a no attack, no harassment, no craziness or anything like that. Because I think
Okay.
he's even aware that that I'm doing a stream on his video. So I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay. Sorry.
I don't think he's here listening in yet, or if he is, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I just come from the mindset. Remember that whole thing that Adam said? Well, I think you made like a 4 hour reaction to it because he was literally saying that everything good about the movie was actually bad somehow.
Hmm.
So I guess I had that in mind. Okay. So this is one that I haven't watched yet. Well, that's nice. At least I get to react to it live.
Yeah, like as far as like, how do I had a thought. I just lost it. um, the original Nosferatu is better. Yeah. The original Nosferatu, the black and white one, is it's obviously a classic, and I even watched it. I watched all the Nosferatu film versions, like all three of them, um, this month, like the '20s version, the silent version, the 1979 version, and the the new one, the newer one. It's like, yeah, the '20s version is a classic. That's true, but I can't really say it's better.
There's just so many things that something can do better just because it's a classic. Like
Yeah,
objectively, you just have to realize that the limitations of the time will set it back against something like this new version.
yeah, yeah. And
But again, like 2005 always does this. Like it's the easy take to say that the original is better.
yeah,
I think
it's
that the exception was yesterday when he said that 2005 King Kong was better than the original.
yeah, yeah. I mean, oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. There'll be like a mini arc in December about Kong '05. That's for sure. So that's gonna be fun. But yeah, like the 1922 Nosferatu. Yeah, it's like like obviously it had the limitations at the time. Like it was still a good movie, but there's definitely things about it that could have been explored a little better. Um, like in terms of what like there isn't really as much depth to it as there is like a really strong atmosphere in the whole
It's
thing.
almost, in a way, it's almost like a fairy tale nowadays, right? It's
Yeah,
like a very basic story. You can read into it if you want to, but it's, like just like a story. Like, there's not much else when it comes to depth in the characters or stuff like that. It's not that
yeah,
they're bad. It's just, they serve the purpose of
yeah.
adapting the book, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of loosely adapted from the book, but there is, in fact, it's not even like a
Yeah,
straight adaptation because at the time, like
they
Stoker's
didn't have the rights.
widow,
Yeah.
yeah, they had a copyright sort of battle for, with Stoker's widow, at that time. So that's why Dracula in the old film had to be referred to as Orlok, and
Hmm.
that's why the new film kind of opted to sort of be faithful to the original film in terms by having it like we know that this is obviously that Orlok is Dracula, Thomas Hutter is Jonathan Harker, Ellen is Mina. Von Franz is Van Helsing. It's but they just kind of stick with the names because it's not just like because Robert Eggers' version isn't just another remake or iteration of Dracula. It's a remake of Nosferatu, that specific stuff German expressionistic stylized take on Dracula.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was different enough. Like it took like the main things from the Dracula story, but in the differences is where you have the uniqueness.
Yeah. Oh, and we got another person coming on here. We got Mr. Hoshi.
Hello, everyone, and happy Halloween to all of you guys. How are you all doing?
Happy Halloween. Doing good. Doing good.
Even though my family is not celebrating Halloween, I'm just here to say happy Halloween because it's one of my favorite times of the year. Even though next day we will be celebrating All Saints Day, but yeah. Anyway, how are you all guys doing?
Pretty good. We're just kind of waiting around for some more people to come on before we get into our video for the day.
By the way, are you guys doing anything for Halloween tonight?
Oh, I'm
Um,
partying.
as for me, I probably am not celebrating Halloween because currently I'm sick and sadly I'm probably not going to be finishing my drawings of the universal monsters in my art cell. If any of you guys seen them in art general.
Ah, oh, that's
Uh, well, like on my side, since I'm on holidays. Actually, I'm in Spain now. I didn't like pack any costumes or anything. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to grab one of these yellow raincoat things. I'm going to tear the arm off. I'm gonna get a red balloon, and I'm just going to be Georgie because it's super easy.
yeah,
Don't blame don't
that's
blame us
creative.
when Pennywise come get your ass and bite your head off.
Oh, one more thing. Yeah, there's apparently like a new show for Pennywise, like Welcome to Derry. And
Yeah.
I realized that today, one of these cinemas here, one of the really big ones, they're going to release the first two episodes for
Huh.
people to watch.
That's that's cool.
Hmm. I've heard that show is out. I mean, I don't have HBO Max, so it's not so I can't really watch it at the time at this point. But
Yeah, I will
I'm
still
still gonna
also.
wait to see. I'm gonna wait to see like until the whole season comes out, and I'll just kind of like binge through it when I eventually get onto it.
Yeah, same. I want to see if it's any good because, and also if it's good, I want to know if there's like a season two incoming. Like I would rather know that it's good and finished than good and with with the possibility of a bad season two, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely think like a prequel to it, could be fairly interesting as long as so long as they like do it well. Um,
Like
and I know,
the books have enough stuff that they can be good. I doubt that we will see Rodan as we should, since he appears in the book. But like hopefully there will at least be like a Firebird of some kind.
hmm,
Okay.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
by the way, I was just gonna say, hey, Lau, I sent you something on the Discord server on your, chat. It's a cover page
Okay,
of the one-shot manga that I'm making next month.
is it the one you showed the other day on Sim Stream, or
Probably.
is it like a new one? Okay, okay,
Um,
I'm still gonna look at it. Okay, it's just that. Oh, by the way, guys, just so you know, I'm about to go into the subway, so for like 10 to 15 minutes, I will be silent because I don't want you to hear like all the noise. But
okay,
yeah, like
okay,
if you start watching the video or anything, like I will still listen to everything. So don't worry, okay?
okay.
cool.
All right,
Okay,
good. All right. Thanks for the heads up.
By the way,
no problem.
see, I'm gonna be sending also something to you. It's something that I have been drawing in a couple of.
What was that, Lao? Not Lao. Hoshi.
I'm gonna send in something to you. It's something that I was trying to do, but I didn't complete.
Okay. Uh, right now I'm just kind of waiting for people. Yeah, because I've sent. Yeah, I sent the link to the Discord, and I've also DM'd it to Cianimus in case he wants to come on. So,
Yeah, cool.
or if he's able, or in case he's
Right.
able to come on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I forgot to tell this, but Minecraft World has recently drawn your kaiju in his art style.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, yeah, I like it a lot. So really, really neat take. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, here's something that I'll be sending to you right now, and I'll see what you got to say about it.
Is
Here,
it
here you
is it
go
on Discord or is it
on Discord.
okay? I'm gonna have to pull up Discord on my computer. Yeah, it's gonna take a bit to load up because apparently Discord loves updating. Yep, thanks for coming, Jarvera Productions. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with. I'm guessing like Return to Silent Hill is like a new Silent Hill film that's coming out. Um, I didn't even know about this. I'm not really that familiar with the Silent Hill franchise. Other than that, I've heard that some of the games like Silent Hill 2 or 3, like some of the games of old are like video game horror classics. And I've heard that the movies are the I've heard mixed things about the first film. Um, and I've heard that the second film was like really terrible.
Uh,
So I have no idea.
I don't have it. I never watched or played any of the Silent Hill games or movies. The only thing that I know about it is Pinhead, and that's about it.
Hmm.
By the way, have you seen the couple of drawings I sent to you?
I'm trying to pull Discord up right now. So no, I haven't yet. I'm getting to it. Uh, it's taking too long to boot up. Okay. Silent Hill 1 captured the atmosphere, but 2 is so shit. Yeah, I guess it's not like the movies. Um, yeah, like I've heard that. Yeah, I heard that the first movie at least tried to, tried to be faithful, and then but the second one film was just like apparently really didn't even like even if it had some of the iconic creature designs for the games, like it still was just like 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 what I heard like the plot of the second film was like such a mess. Um, yes, Minecraft World. I have seen your design of Invisaris. Yeah, I really like it. Like I will say, like I think the black eyes, like again, like I kind of had in mind where there's supposed to be like a layer of flesh over the eyes because I've said like his eyes were supposed to be like it's supposed to be like really sensitive to sunlight. So I do think like maybe like the eyes could just be like the black could just be a bit more washed out, as if to say like they're there, but they're just sort of hidden behind essentially a curtain, actually. But yeah, other than that, I really like what you did with them. Um, Definitely, and I like that you also added the his mouths having tongues essentially. That's a nice touch.
Also, hey, by the way, Steve Monster, are you interested that I would like draw your kaiju in my art style?
Um, go for it. Go right ahead. Uh,
Do you have something to like say, like have some rules that I should follow when it comes to drawing him?
he's basically just kind of stay faithful to the description that I kind of gave to him, because he's supposed to be like an extraterrestrial humanoid creature. Um, he has a mouth on in the palm of each hand. So he doesn't have a mouth where over where his face would be, where you would normally see a mouth. Um, but yeah, make him look pretty. Make him anorexic, but not because like he's malnourished, but rather it's just that's just kind of like the way he is. Because as I've said in my description of him, like of his biology, like his metabolism works um differently. In terms of like he doesn't die from starvation. But he needs to eat so that his invisibility could remain intact. But yeah, I mean, like as long as you kind of like stay within that general premise, um, and the eyes are like supposed to be like all black essentially, but they're kind of like hidden behind like like I said, a layer of his flesh, because of like they're visible, but the layer of flesh is meant to sort of protect his eyes. Like he could still see through it, but like just kind of like make it like as long as the outline is there, so long as it's like just subtle enough to where it's like okay, his eyes are there, but they're just kind of behind something. But
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yep. Lau says that him and a friend started watching the Ghost Stories anime last night for Halloween.
Cool. As for me, I'm currently watching Say the Animation. It's by the same studio that made the comedy anime Nichijou. Al-
Hmm.
Also, I forgot to tell you this, but this Wednesday, me and my sister went to watch the new Chainsaw Man movie, the Wesley arc.
Hmm. Yeah, I've heard mentioned about that.
But anyway, I'm gonna say this, but I'm not gonna be here for a while because, like I said, I'm sick. I need to take a break, and I had to go to sleep. And but before I go, I just want to say Happy Halloween, Sea Monster, and I don't know. I hope you have a wonderful day. Celebrating Halloween, even though my family doesn't celebrate Halloween, I still am hoping that you at least have a wonderful time.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, you take care. Thank you for coming on.
Okay, see you in the next live stream.
See you later, man. And then there were two, or rather one, because Louse muted for right now. Uh, okay, who else is? Trying to see if there's anybody else who can. But yeah, 36. 36 minutes in. I probably need to like kind of get things going here. Well, let's. Ah. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand why my laptop, like Discord, constantly needs to be updated on my laptop. It makes no, it doesn't really make any sense at all. Yeah. But, anyways, I'm just gonna. Yeah. All right. All right. I'm gonna do this here. Okay. All right. All right. I got the stream. All right. I'm making the StreamYard link public so that anybody else can join. Yeah. Huh. Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. So, all right. I'm gonna try something here, so I can potentially get things moving along here. Um. All right. One more station. All right. Yeah. Right now, I'm kind of just trying to figure out if I could screen share, the video, playing the video before, too long, just in case. Uh, just in case there isn't anyone else. And okay. Is all right. Yeah. Let me give it a shot here. All right. Yeah, try to get things going here. Yeah. Come on. Alrighty. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. Do. Yeah, I'm making plans of getting getting a new laptop at some point because it's not that the one I have right now is dying. It's just old. So yeah, maybe that'll like sort out the performance stuff. And so on. Okay. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna have that X out. I'm gonna have the X Discord out so I can move it faster. Alrighty.
Okay, I'm here.
All right.
Let me know if there's some like audio issues, just in case. Like if I move my head or whatever, do you hear like a lot of noise from outside?
Okay.
I know,
Okay.
I was asking you if you hear like a lot of outside noise.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing some. It sounds like there's clanging going on there.
I literally just walked by someone that's throwing a bunch of bottles into a trash can, and now I pass them away. Now I'm further away from them. So can you still hear it or?
Uh, it's a little more faint now,
Okay,
but
okay. So, yeah, it's fine now.
yeah. Right now, I'm just
So,
trying to get. I'm trying to like get trying to figure things out about the screen sharing situation.
oh, okay, okay. You said you have a laptop that's just like kind of old, right?
Yeah, my laptop is old, so it's kind of
Someone once told me that laptops always betray you at the worst possible moment. So, yeah, if you're going to get like a new one, maybe it's also worth saving for a PC.
hmm.
Yes. Yeah, it's more expensive, but I think it's worth it.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just the main thing is because quite frankly, I think like the performance, on a new laptop could be better, especially if we're doing screen
Yeah.
sharing. So because yeah, so far I'm not. Because yeah, we're kind of want to try to get this video going, but if there's no, but unless the screen share situation is all taken care of, then because I'm not, because yeah, so far I'm not really hearing back from anybody.
I would if I could, but since I'm on a different country, there's moments where I might just run out of data, or that it will be like kind of unstable. So I'm sorry, I
Hmm.
just can't do it this one time.
No, that's okay. Yeah, right on. Yeah, I'm just kind of. I guess we'll just have to figure it out. Uh, Come on. All right, go down. Mm. Oh, new video. Oh, did they? Wait a minute. Where'd the overlay go?
Oh yeah, it disappeared.
That's
I don't
weird.
know why.
Let me let me put it back up, or we'll do a different one. There we go.
Now I see the one that says trick or treat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll just kind of go with this for now because it'll probably take up
Okay.
less space on the overlay. Maybe that'll do it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, and I've lost them. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, about 40. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Ah, okay, here I am.
Ah, okay. Okay, let me see. All right. Right now. All right. Let's see if this works. All right. All right. All right. Let me.
Doot, 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 doot.
It is like almost 52 minutes into the stream, and I still am still just running into video problems.
Um, what I would say is like, why don't you pause it, like the stream for like 15 minutes, 20, while you try to set it up?
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Let me. Oh. Here. Let me see. Mm,
I'm only saying because every second we spend here without doing anything, it's a second that 2005 could come in.
oh. Yeah. All right. Come on.
I mean, I can talk if you want to. It's just that at the same time, I don't want to distract you from whatever you're doing because I know that sometimes like this um, hubs are a little bit difficult to manage
Yeah.
or like to navigate.
Yeah. It's not even. Yeah. Let me reload.
By the way, I just came into one of these collector stores, and I'm looking at a 340 vinyl of Godzilla with Gabra and Minilla. It's like right next to me.
Hmm.
I wasn't expecting that.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, that's like from the Mondo uh, things they make. Like Mondo makes like sculptures and statues and vinyl sometimes, and yeah.
Neat. Yeah. It's pretty neat. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and he's just pretty good. Then it's funny is that StreamYard actually says that plugging into the internet is more efficient, or would give you better or faster internets than using Wi-Fi. Right now, my laptop is plugged in to the internet. It's kind of like an Ethernet cable plugged into it. So it's still yeah, still not doing me a solid like I'm hoping it would. Oh, yeah. It's not even. Yeah, I'm still waiting. Like I'm actually trying to do a screen share of through my laptop, but it's like it is giving me a horrendous time. Fucking hell. And we're trying to get this video going. But it's just like yes, share screen. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. Right. All right. Is this right. All right, here we go. All right. Maybe that'll do it. Oh. Hmm. Yep. There we go.
Sorry, I got disconnected. As I
That's
said,
okay.
like, yeah.
Well, I may have gotten the screen
You
share.
got sniped by an ad. Yeah,
Yeah,
it happens.
yeah. There we go. All right. Maybe now we can get this going.
It would be funny that suddenly he gets like copyright stricken and like there's no video anymore.
Good. Maybe I'm just kind of giving it a little bit of time to load here. The buffer.
Mhm.
Alright, maybe now we can finally get this going.
Yeah, like I'm kind of excited for this one since I don't know what it's going to be about.
Yeah, it's going to be about whether or not Nosferatu storytelling is that good.
Yeah. I mean, like his points. I don't know them, so like that's what I'm excited about. Because like with someone like Adam, it's like I know this is all good, but I don't like it. So those don't really give you anything.
Yeah, but yeah, let's get it go. Let's get it on. Oh, can we hear? Can you hear it?
I'm not hearing anything. I thought that maybe it was mute for the first couple of seconds.
Hmm. Okay. Uh, let me turn
Remember, when you share screen, you also have to select a little button that says share audio too.
Okay. Okay. All right. Give me a second. Yeah. Oh, here we
If you
go.
cannot find it, then stop sharing, start again, select whole screen, or like the window that you want, and it's like a little button on the left, no, on the right bottom of the pop-up window for sharing. That's where it normally goes.
Maybe it's because my laptop didn't turn. My volume wasn't all the way up on my laptop. Let me try it. Here, let me see if it works now. Still nothing. All right, let me.
Yeah, no,
All right,
I
let
don't
me.
hear. Oh my.
All right, let me. Let me try this. All right, let me. Okay. Okay. Sharing. Try sharing your screen again. All right. All right. Looks like all right, I'm gonna remove it. All right. Remove it. That's weird. Uh, Stop screen. All right. Start over. All right. Start it over. All right. Let's try again. Okay. It says all. All right. I got it where it says also share tab audio. Uh, okay. All right. Let's try this again.
Okay.
Okay, I have all right. I have it where it says, to select the tab that I'm using. I also have the little thing already switched for to also share the tab audio. Okay, am I missing? Is there anything that I'm missing here? Okay, okay. So entire screen then. Is that what I'm doing? Yeah. Lau?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can hear you. Do I
Okay.
share the
So
entire
what happens?
screen?
What happens?
Or, or
What I do
What
normally
I
is I
do
share the entire screen, and
entire
then I
screen,
just pull the full screen
and
on
then
the
I
video.
just pull the
I
full
I
screen
do
on
have
the
to tell
video.
you one thing.
I do
Just so
have
you
to
know.
tell you one thing,
Just so you know.
I'm running out of battery. I'm running out of battery.
hold on, hold on,
And
hold on,
we're
Lau,
echoing.
you're,
Some outside.
we're echoing, we're echoing. This is not going well. This is not going well.
Sí.
Okay.
Quería una hamburguesa clásica.
¿Clásica de carne o de pollo?
Carne,
¿Y algún
huevo frito y hecha.
Okay. Oh, this is not going well. Okay. Yeah, this is bad. Get me something to. Hey, Vic. How you doing, Vic? Lau, if you can hear me, I kind of had you muted because when I tried to do the entire screen thing, like it was like there was a really bad echo. So, yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know if it's okay for me to like unmute you. Okay. Oh, dear. Going to work in a few. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Man. Ah. All right. What are we? What do I do? What's the gist of the vid? That apparently Nosferatu 2024 has not very good storytelling, and there's basically sort of like a discretion warning about the video talking about stuff involving you know the S word in one way or another. Uh, yeah. Like that's pretty much about as far as we gotten, and the audio wasn't even on. So this is. But as far as like the gist of this stream goes, I mean, like like started off with a slow burn, but at least like we're, but like talking, just sort of chilling, having chit chats about Halloween stuff, about horror stuff, but then now we're trying to get the video going, and it's not even, it's, I don't know, like I don't even know. But yeah, like it was a video that I've shared on I've shared on Discord. Okay. And apparently Loud's phone just died. Or at least it seems that way, so I'm just by myself. Ugh. Alright, you know what? Alright, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do this the old fashioned way. We're gonna the old fashioned Sea Monster Live way. Where I'm gonna have to play the audio of the video, all right? I'm just no fancy ways of doing it anymore. We're just let's just do it. Let's just do the audio. Yeah, you're gonna get y'all are still getting coverage of the video, but it's in audio form, so not in video. So yeah, not even gonna entertain the screen share bullshit anymore. Like, just gonna at this point, let's do it. Let's just get it going. Let's get it done. All right. Yeah, because 1 hour and 12 minutes. All right. Have the volume as high as it can go. Nosferatu, from what I remember, was far from incompetent in telling its story. Very stylistic in its time period setting, which might put people off, but ultimately is able to use it well. I agree. I agree with that. Absolutely. Alrighty. All right. Okay, so Lau, if you are alive, if you are seeing this, I'm gonna do coverage of the video, but only in audio form. So this is kind of like the way I used to have done it. I think the last time I did it was like that Transformers military propaganda video, but even then, it wasn't like through the whole vid. It was like for like a first part of it. So, all right, with that out the way, let's just get on with it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom. I don't know if that's copyrighted.
I know I'm a little late to the party on this one, but trust me when I say that it's for good reason. To be blunt, I really, honestly, and fully hate Nosferatu.
Hate? He hates it. Oh, wow. I don't. You know, I'm not even. Maybe Adam Does Movies did use the word hate to describe how he felt about the film. I don't know. Honestly, I can't really recall because all I really remember is just obviously the Twilight from the film, so the Fanatic quotes. It's very, it's iconic at this point. But yeah, there we go.
Genuinely never had so much venom for a film before. And as a result, I've taken about a month to really organize my thoughts and do an immense amount of research to ensure that I can attack this in the most informed way possible.
I mean, I kind of appreciate that you kind of took a month to sort of like really think about it and take some notes, ultimately. I guess it's just a matter of like whether or not the conclusion is ultimately valid and whether or not it's backed up all that well. I guess we'll see. We'll get down to it. We'll get to it. But I do appreciate that this isn't like he wasn't trying to do like an off the cuff thing with this. So, unlike Adam or some other folks. Or hey, who knows? I can even say I appreciate this way more than what EFAP did with Cottom. You know, or honestly, even what Mahler did with Romulus, and that was like him doing a whole, having done a whole stream on that film, and he still just cranked out that Romulus vid that was just like okay, like some good points, but there was also like some bullshit there, more bullshit than not, unfortunately, and that video was like rushed. So, but yeah, Matt Copy, I appreciate this. I appreciate that you actually wanted or trying to actually have this perspective on the film and actually try to support it. Take some time, but anyways.
I've not only watched the original film, not only looked into the deep history behind the movie, but I've also purchased and read the entirety of Dracula by Bram Stoker.
I guess you probably could have. I guess. All right. It's kind of weird that there isn't even like a mention of the 1979 Werner Herzog version. You know, it's. But hey, you know, I mean, the original Nosferatu in the novel, I suppose that's I guess some good basis there. But even then, it's like I don't really. I guess depending on which argument you go with, you know, it's not even like that necessary to try to like read the book or watch other versions of Nosferatu to try to get where this movie's going, how to support it. But we'll see. We'll see how this is tackled. Again, I would say it's a interesting little Avatar backdrop there. It's got going on Halloween, Jack-o'-lantern from the movie Halloween. You got like Elm Street with slashes. You got the Batman back there. A TV screen with Abraham Lincoln Vampire on it. All right. Anyways.
Meaning that I can now say with confidence that Nosferatu is not only a bad adaptation, but also an incredibly incompetent narrative. I want you to think back on the great horror villains of cinematic history. John Kramer, motivated by his twisted worldview and desire for society to learn to be grateful for the lives that they lead. Carrie White, motivated by the desire for revenge for the abuse that she had to endure from all the horrible people in her life. Now enter Nosferatu's villain, Count Orlok. Perhaps
even though Orlok is based on Dracula, who came out way before John Kramer or Carrie White. Okay. I guess we'll see how but yeah, you know, this version of Orlok is newer. All right.
It's the evilest of all. See, his motivation is that he wants to get laid. Now, while
now here's the thing. Now, the video is still kind of like doing some buffering bullshit, so I wasn't even like actively pausing there. But yeah, Orlok wants sex. That's his main motive. It has nothing to do with him being an undead fiend that was essentially resurrected by essentially Satan. And just kind of like walking the earth for hundreds of years, drinking the blood of the living and being, and honestly, like having it just be a really rough, painful experience, like existence is pain for him. And so him just sort of like having any sort of like outlet of like desire, it's not even like even for as evil as it is, it's like, yeah, I mean, anybody, needs some kind of companionship or even just some, or at least like some kind of positive experience in life, just because him getting awakened by Ellen, who also just like seeks comfort. It's ultimately like no nuance. He just wants to fuck. That's okay. All right, sure. Isn't lusting after woman a typical trope in vampire / Dracula movies? Kinda, a little bit. I mean, a little bit. like at least as far as Dracula goes, like there's some versions of Dracula where there's a bit more nuance to it than that, because like you got like Bram Stoker's Dracula, the one directed by Francis Ford Coppola, where Dracula, who was played by Gary Oldman, he is lusting after Winona Ryder's Mina because he considers her to be like the reincarnation, like a spitting image of his wife from from his days as a mortal, as Vlad the Impaler. And so there's like this sort of like emotional tie, for him to want to lust after her, for him to want to make her into a bride of his. So, but lusting, lusting after a woman, for the blood or to make into a bride or anything like that. It is kind of a standard for vampire stories, or at least Dracula stories. And since Nosferatu is technically a version of Dracula, like it kind of fits the bill. So it just kind of begs the question, like, even if we were to entertain like that Count Orlok in 2024 is pretty much is no more nuanced than just him just wanting to get with a woman to drink her blood or to have sex. What exact at that point it makes you wonder, like, so what is it about the other versions of Count Orlok or the Nosferatu version of Dracula, like from the 20s or the 79 version, that isn't that? Like, why would we have to bring this new version down for that, when that could easily be applied to the older versions, which surely he thinks are superior to this? But anyways.
The subtext is certainly there in the original film from 1923. It was not as in your face as it is here. And the entire central focus of this movie being vampire sex really does hinder the experience for a myriad of reasons, contrary to what Twilight fans might tell you.
Twilight. Twilight reference.
The most glaring issue in Nosferatu is an extension of this want to make the sexual undertones anything but undertones. In the beginning, we are blatantly told Orlok's plan and motivation. He wants to move out of Transylvania for the...
Okay, the video's just kind of buffering, so... just back up here for a second. Alright, so... apparently the film isn't subtle. So the storytelling so far is incompetent because the film isn't subtle. I think it's just kind of like very straightforward, actually. It's just kind of, it's like, yeah. Like there is like the undertones about like essentially melancholy, sort of getting a hold of people, emotionally being emotionally compromising, the darkness within ourselves, and how we essentially, sort of cope with it, how we deal with it, how we confront with it, how we should recognize it and confront it. Otherwise we could be consumed by it. It's there's bits of layers to it. There's pretty much thematic layers to this film. But just sort of narrowing it down to freaky vampire sex. That's Yep. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I just don't. It just doesn't really work. It's like, okay, yeah, that's like a weird notification there. Just back that up just a little bit here. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be putting timestamps for this stream of like, okay, this is where the coverage actually begins. So So we could just skip. Anybody else could just skip the bullshit, I guess. All right, let's get to it.
Of this want to make the sexual undertones anything but undertones. In the beginning, we are blatantly told Orlok's plan and motivation. He wants to move out of Transylvania for the express purpose of having sex with Ellen, and he intends to use her husband, Thomas, as a way to move into their hometown and get his consent for Orlok to sleep with his wife. All of this exposition is given to us in about the first 10 minutes. But this movie is 2 hours and 12 minutes long, and it never diverts from Orlok's plan. Everything goes damn near perfectly for him. In layman's terms, the movie just spoils itself before it even gets started and has no twists. We as the audience...
So Orlok's plan going really well, like, is a problem. I guess it's only a problem like if it's incongruent with how it could logically play out. But the thing is, like, it actually does logically play out really well. He has a supernatural power essentially, and he's like even Von Franz states that he's like as powerful of an evil as they come. Like, he's never seen anything like it. Like, he has like this psychic connection to Ellen. Knock is also like a person that was susceptible to Orlok's power and fell into it. And so Knock, having Thomas, being local in Visburg, where Ellen and Thomas are living, is able to have it where Thomas would eventually move would go to Transylvania to move Orlok to Visburg. And there's the contract, and there's the contract that Orlok wants Ellen to repledge her vows on, after he has Thomas unknowingly consent to Orlok moving in. It's essentially like the equivalent to like a vampire asking you, like, hey, can I come in and sort of like do blah blah blah, and someone just like invites them in. It's like the whole premise of like the vampire premise of Sinners, essentially, except that this is like a way more subtle, where like Orlok gets consent before he even sets foot into Germany, much less Visburg. So yeah, and as far as like the film having no twist, is like shouldn't like the twist just? I mean, is that really necessary for the twist? Where it's like wouldn't the twist be like in comparison to like to other versions of Nosferatu, where like this time like Orlok and Ellen have more of a personal connection than what they ever had in either version of Nosferatu? Yeah, I mean, sure, this is an element that's kind of that's kind of similar to Coppola's version of Dracula in some way, shape, or form. But even then, it's not even that exact. So, yeah, like, I mean, as long as the events line up and make sense, and have follow across a through line that functions, then I don't see what the problem is here with the film just being like, yeah, this film plays out exactly how you think it would. It's like, well, does it make sense though? Does it have a logical through line though that you could follow, that you can understand, that and be able to recognize, like, I can see how this happened because that happened, therefore this happens, and so on, cause and effect. Like, as long as Nosferatu does that, and it does do that, like, again, I just don't see what the problem is. This isn't GXK where it's and then storytelling, where it's just like, then this happens, then this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and then, and then, and then, and then. Yep, sorry, Vicky. But, yeah. Anyways. I just recognize it. I'm just looking at like this, like, I guess it has to be like stock footage of like this crowd is like, I'm wondering if that's like AI, because you got this woman that looks oddly like Scarlett Johansson. I don't really. I know that's a weird thing for me to comment in this video, but yeah, there it is.
And so just left there to wait as the characters slowly and painfully learn what we already know. And this issue is unique to this version of the story. In the original Nosferatu, we learn with the characters. The film doesn't feel the need to beat us over the head with anything. Furthermore, in Dracula, which this is supposed to be an adaptation of, Bram Stoker showed us the most clever way to structure a story like this. Not only are we finding out what Dracula's plan is as it happens, but we're also immersed in this world because of the way it's written. Dracula is broken up into segments of different writing logs from...
Okay, so he's just kind of explaining like how the novel of Dracula works. But I do kind of want to like point out like how the original Nosferatu kind of like does the thing that 2024 doesn't do, where characters just audience figure out the information as the characters do. Like well, okay, but here's the thing: like Jonathan Harker, or well, Thomas, he in the original Nosferatu, like he's like given a book that just explains like it's like here, like this is what a vampire is. Here's how they operate. Don't go near them. Stay away from them. But he still kind of brushes it off, essentially. Whereas with this film, there is like we don't really get that. Like if anything, like Nosferatu is like even more like sort of pulled back in terms of us, like in terms of how we figure out like what exactly is like the supernatural nature of it all in terms of the Nosferatu. Like we get bits and pieces of information. Like in this film, does do that. It's just that with von Franz, for example, in Sievers, it's like obviously it's not until much later on where they in the film where they get the Salmonari Codex from Knox's office, and it's like, okay, this is all right. Now we figure out how where they figure out how Nosferatu can be killed. So yeah, it's like the film takes the film just kind of takes up a more of a slow burn for us to get to like how the vampire works, how they operate. It's not spoon feeding us. It's not leaving text on I mean, the original Nosferatu is like it's like sure it's way more straightforward, but it's like so in your face about it to the point where where you're just like you really are just like reading text. Which I mean I get it. It's a silent film, but even so, like when you pretty much like read a book, it really is just kind of like reading a manual about a vampire rather than learning throughout the story, of course, of like how Nosferatu, how Orlok is operating, like what we get here. Like so, if anything, this new film is way more subtle about it in terms of like giving us bits of information about the world building involving vampires and what have you. While still ultimately still leaving things in a way that are just like kind of that are pretty vague, but in a way that is actually more beneficial to the film because it's like a power that's beyond man's understanding. Like we only understand so much about the world around us at that point. But the bits of information that we do get still make sense at the end of the day. It's kind of fun to imagine last Voyage of the Demeter as a companion movie. In a sense, I guess. Yeah, not sure. I think Last Voyage of the Demeter is like a bit more bombastic as a companion film to compared to Nosferatu. But I mean, I kind of see where you're coming from there. Kind of. But yeah, now we're just sort of like getting into like how the novel of Dracula works in terms of like its story structure compared to Nosferatu, which will be interesting to find out.
So immersed in this world because of the way it's written. Dracula is broken up into segments of different writing logs from different characters. At first, you read from Jonathan's point of view, and this makes the reader question his perception of reality, or if maybe he's just being paranoid up until the end of his segment. Then we read from the captain's log of the ship that took Dracula to London, and so on. It really feels like you're a detective.
Okay, it's still
investigating this mystery.
I feel like you're a detective. Give me a sec.
It really feels like you're a detective investigating this mystery of a vampire. So to take such an engaging story structure and then make it boring shows a lack of understanding for why the source material works so well. The issues with this film's sexual theming go way beyond the inspiration.
Okay, I was trying to pause it there right after he said boring. So basically, so basically, this applies to the original Nosferatu or the '79 version as well, right? Because that's kind of the same. Because those films do the same thing that this film does, which is not necessarily doing the journal stuff. And even then, like Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Coppola version, which was opted to be like one of the more faithful adaptations. Like even that one, like yeah, it had the journal stuff, but it wasn't like, but it definitely wasn't consistent throughout. There's only like, there's like some like it's not really like specific. It doesn't like explicitly do it all the way through the runtime. So. But yeah, and also like, what about the Universal version of Dracula, Bela Lugosi? What about the '79 Dracula version with Frank Langella? Like, there's so many versions of Dracula, in the past that have done this, that have not done the structure of what the novel did. Just like Nosferatu, 2024. Perhaps, I mean, like, you could say that perhaps this is like a way of, like, they're trying to transition the book, or at least like events from the book, or at least that kind of structure in a way that's more palatable for film as opposed to reading a book. But yeah, that's all what it kind of boils down to. Yeah. All right, now let's get to the theming issues.
The issues with this film's sexual theming go way beyond the inspiration of a bad structure, however. Again, comparing this to Dracula, which by all means also has themes of sexuality, there's a huge difference in approach here. Dracula is timeless because it balances a good story with fascinating subtext. It gives us so much to discuss regarding allegories and the author's intent, while simultaneously providing us with this infinitely interesting vampire lore. Nosferatu, on the other hand, lays all its cards on the table and proudly proclaims that our movie is about sex. One Oscar, please.
So, or maybe, or it's like, I kind of hate the whole sort of aspect of like, oh, this film is those other films like did this well because they were interesting about it, whereas this film was more boring and way less subtle about it, even though even though, as I've stated, like, this film was actually more subtle in its approach than not, actually. Because there's actually like multiple there's more thematics you can pull from this film that are objectively present than sexual undertones. There's way more of it. It's not just the sex stuff, okay? I guess it's like one of those things where the whole like, oh, Nosferatu's approach was boring and not interesting. Like, it doesn't really give me much. Like, okay, you go into detail about like why why the positive examples work of other versions of Dracula. But when it comes to this film, in terms of like the structuring and what have you, as an example, to go back to that just a bit, when you mentioned then you just say that Nosferatu was boring about its structure. It's just like, okay, that doesn't tell what am I meant to do with that? I that's not really it's incompetent because it's boring. That's about as what you're trying to make one of the incompetent is an objective claim, but then you say boring, and that's subjective. You gotta it has to be kind of I guess the whole thing about this is this video probably would need to be longer just to maybe further elaborate on why why the Nosferatu 2024 approach of storytelling, which is still pretty standard and traditional for storytelling, is actually is boring or incompetent. Could be boring to someone and is actually incompetent, provably incompetent, compared to other versions of Dracula or other versions of Nosferatu. But or even why the novel does things a lot better that the film just drops the ball on. You would kind of need to go more detail about that than 15 minutes, I suppose. But yeah, maybe just find better examples, but or at least more elaborate, more detailed examples, I suppose, rather than just saying oh, the novel did that. Going into some detail about the positive examples, but then when you get to Nosferatu, why it doesn't work, it's barely explained. Yeah. Anyways.
So, on top of being plain boring to sit through, it also ditches everything interesting about vampires in favor of this narrative. Yes, Orlok lives in a castle and sleeps in a coffin, and is implied to have bit Thomas a couple of times, but it's all just set dressing to the team behind the movie. He's less Dracula and more of an incubus than anything.
He's essentially he's essentially an undead creature that was resurrected by a demon. He's essentially he isn't there is he is aren't vampires technically demonic in a way? That there's some they're an undead force, that immortal force that that's evil, that isn't supposed to be of this earth, but they're walking amongst the living. Is it because Ellen goes into exorcist fits during the movie because of her psychic connection to Orlok that she's had since her youth? Okay. All right. Anyways, let's continue.
And to be fully direct, if you make an adaptation of Dracula where it doesn't even matter that he's a vampire, you've written a crappy adaptation.
It does matter that he's a vampire in this. He drinks blood. He hates the sun. he's undead. Okay, so and vampires they lust after for the blood of the living, and in Dracula's case, he lusts after a woman. Yeah, it's vampires are meant to be this weird, a sort of a dark sexual fantasy, or at least the outlets for a dark sexual fantasy that is very sinful but very tempting for for some people. Where it's just it's hard to I hope people understand what I'm trying to say here. Ellen has she's trying to repress the temptations in her, for Orlok, because he did show her comfort when she needed it most, but it was like a hook, but it was like very hook. But then there was some horrific undertones there, and she realized it, and that's why she's tried to move away from it. But it will not let go of her. Like, so yes, Orlok being a vampire is significant in this film. It is because, like, and not only that, but there's like significant bits of vampire lore, like a stake through the heart, or and so on, so on. Yeah, and yeah, there's also a plague as well, like the shadow of death, which the other versions of Nosferatu had that as well. And those are vampire stories. Like I definitely would like to ask, like what makes the original Nosferatu in the 1979 film, or at least the original Nosferatu, assuming he hasn't watched the 79 film. What is it about the original What would make the original Nosferatu like that superior version over the 2024 film, despite the 2024 film actually having more of that subtlety that you were looking for than the 2022 film? The 22 film, 1922, not 2019, not 2022. Okay, yeah, you get what I mean.
Straight to the point like this is so demeaning to the audience as well. Feeling the need to
That's buffering still, Jesus.
scream what used to be whispers meant to spark discussion leaves the viewer with absolutely nothing to think
The buffering is just crazy. Wait a second. All right, put it back up. Yeah, back it up. Back it up. Okay.
Getting straight to the point like this is so demeaning to the audience as well. Feeling the need to scream what used to be whispers meant to spark discussion.
Okay, laptop, can you stop buffering? All right. Okay. Okay. So film screams at you what were whispers in the other films. Okay. I know this is very transformative because of just how much of I'm honestly just kind of how much of a roller coaster this is of technical problems.
What used to be whispers meant to spark discussion leaves the viewer with absolutely nothing to think critically about. For such a self-important, artsy film like this, you'd expect it to at least have more layers than the surface level.
I mean, I've kind of went over that. Kind of went over some of those layers. But okay, sure. By the way, my essay video. And there's also the extensive discussion during the Adam Does Movies stream that me and Minecraft World and Cinemas have done. Hell, even Capital O's video on Nosferatu, like that I've covered previously, was, like would suggest otherwise, that there's more beneath the surface of this film than what this video is letting on. So, yeah.
Tractor from this movie, again coming from its sexual nature, is the addition of these new, almost rapey undertones. For some inexplicable reason, Robert Eggers felt the need to create these scenes that, at the risk of sounding easily offended or prudish, have absolutely no place in this or any movie. The less obscene of these...
So, okay, so the film isn't allowed to have a vampire just come off as like a bit grapey, I guess. That's what you're trying to say. Like, so it's like, okay, so I guess again, how many other versions of Dracula has he seen out there? Like, that's been pretty common. Like, I'm pretty sure in the Universal version of Dracula, Mina did not consent willingly to have her blood sucked by Dracula, or to pretty much be willed out of her home to drink some of his blood outside. Like she's obviously under Dracula's influence. She's doing things that she normally would never have done in a million years. But because of Dracula's like hypnotic power, essentially, and his due to how powerful Dracula is as a force of evil, essentially, that's those things they end up happening. So, it's kind of weird that we're just sort of like gatekeeping this sort of gatekeeping this sort of stuff. Like, yeah, of course, this stuff is like discomforting and bad and pretty much bad. It's like the films are saying that. That's what the film is saying. The film never condones what happens to Ellen in the story. Like it is clearly stating this is a dark and really a really like horrifying sort of moment in her life. Bro obviously hasn't watched Sea Monster Essays. True, probably. Well, actually, I think he put a comment on my Nosferatu video, but I think he was like looking for my post about the stream. So, so who knows? Maybe he did watch Sea Monster Essays.
Is the implication that Orlok chose Ellen as his sexual partner when she was a young girl. Thankfully, nothing is shown here, but a major part of Orlok's story is getting her to re-accept the agreement they made when she was underage. This sort of pedophilic aspect wasn't present in Dracula or the original Nosferatu. In fact, in the 1923 film, she was primarily pursued by Orlok for being a virgin, whereas here, it is directly stated that the two of them have a sexual history that Thomas is unaware of. Look, maybe I'm too stupid to get it, but
okay, hold on. Yeah, we're just gonna let this play a little bit more because I just so I can really get into it again. The film doesn't. The film's obviously stating that it's bad that this happened to Ellen. This is never seen as a good thing by the film whatsoever at all.
Genuinely, what does this add to the story? Instead of being about
Genuinely, what does this add to the story? What does this add? All right, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me back this. Hold on. Let me back this up. Hold on. Wait. All right. Let me back it up so I can hear the whole context. Give me a second. Okay.
In the 1923 film, she was primarily pursued by Orlok for being a virgin. Whereas here, it is directly stated that the two of them have a sexual history that Thomas is unaware of. Look, maybe I'm too stupid to get it, but genuinely, what does this add to the story?
What does this add to the story? What? Okay. What? Okay. All right. So basically, Dracula and Mina or Orlok and Ellen can't have like some kind of have like a deeper connection in a version of Dracula or Nosferatu. Like, is that like is that the argument here? It's like that's the point of this film, of this version of Nosferatu. Okay, all right, hold on. I got loud back up here.
Hello.
Hey.
I finally found somewhere where I could like charge the phone, so I'm eating ice cream just for you. See?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So I've just kind of said fuck it to the whole like screen share attempt. So I'm kind of doing things the old-fashioned way, which is playing the video audio only.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it a couple times, so.
I just went on YouTube and I saw that you were crashing out about something.
Okay, so this guy takes an issue with the fact that Orlok and Ellen have like this deeper. Let me play it back for here. Let me just play it back here one more time, just so people can hear it.
Okay.
Because we've gone over some of the thematic or the story structure stuff in it. Um, so it's probably like a bit too much to try to go back on, but here we go. Give me a sec. Here.
Pedophilic aspect wasn't present in Dracula or the original Nosferatu. In fact, in the 1923 film, she was primarily pursued by Orlok for being a virgin. Whereas here, it is directly stated that the two of them have a sexual history that Thomas is unaware of. Look, maybe I'm too stupid to get it, but genuinely, what does this add to the story?
Okay.
That, I mean, I don't see how that's a complaint. You know, like, I mean, it doesn't add like anything negative to it. Like, it
Yeah.
was just the times. Do people like married at 15, stuff like that, even younger sometimes. So
Yeah.
the fact that this demon does the same, like to me, it's not really, you know.
Yeah. Like he's not going after her because he wasn't going after her just because she was that young. Like he was going after her because she was lone. She was pretty much lonely, and she was under a deep state of depression that ultimately just kind of led her into using her psychic abilities that she kind of had been ostracized for having in order to reach out to some to a spirit of comfort. And that just happened to have been Orlok at the time. So this guy's
Yeah.
issue
She
is
sent an open
apparently
invite,
so
and
this guy
literally the worst possible option appeared. Yeah, it's unrelated to
yeah,
age or.
she was like she was kind of like emotionally compromised to the point where she just kind of where she made like a really bad decision. And it what like and it's
And
like
if you think about it, it's not even a bad decision. It's just a bad choice of words.
right. Yeah. But the thing is, like, even if you made like a good choice of words, like, you'd still potentially end up still getting something like Orlok to come at you because something like a demonic, because something like Orlok, who he even said like is more of an incubus than a demon than a vampire, like
You know, it would be really funny if we got a version of the movie where she says, "An angel, a spirit of comfort, anything that's not evil," and then nothing happens. Like, or she just gets like a little garden angel, and suddenly turns into a comedy because she actually used like very specific language.
yeah, yeah, something like that. So this point that this guy makes is that the decision to have Orlok and Ellen to have like this personal connection is bad because the opening scene had it to where they've had this connection since she was in her youth, and that apparently it's yeah, and that it's well, a PDF like of Orlok.
The DDisms of Nosferatu, yeah. Yeah, which
uh,
honestly doesn't really, if anything, it adds to the discomfort, but yeah, that doesn't make it bad or anything.
Oh yeah, and he pretty much states like how the film is not subtle whatsoever in terms of its thematics, in terms of its storytelling, in terms of what it's trying to say, and that it's all just about it's like all in your face about like, hey, freaky sex stuff. Um, Even though I've kind of like mentioned that there's like other thematics about like people dealing with like the darkest temptations that they have in themselves. There's also, like Orlok can be seen as like a metaphor of like melancholy, essentially, and the damage that it could do
Yeah,
to not just the person that's affecting, but everyone around them. Like, But no.
Also issues of the
Orlok just
time.
wants sex. Orlok just wants sex. Guys, so this movie's about sex.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people like that. For example, in Chainsaw Man, that also has like a lot of sexual themes, and people also like simplify it in the most stupid way.
Yeah,
Like the fact that the movie has those themes or subjects added into the story doesn't make it a sexual thing.
yeah,
Like I will be honest, there's a lot of that in this movie, but the movie's not about that. It's just a thing that happens in life, like in real life, to some people. To
yeah,
others, we're just alone under a bridge and we'll die fucking virgins.
yeah. And some of that is even well, even then, like the sexual stuff is heightened in the case of this film because of like what the story is about, essentially.
Yeah,
Um, about us like trying to recognize like whatever darkness or evil that's in ourselves, and essentially how we deal with it,
mhm.
like how we confront, like how we recognize it and how we confront it, essentially. Or like whether or not and we have to either confront it and essentially defeat it within ourselves, or you have someone like Knock or Locke who pretty much indulge in it.
Mhm.
I mean, I would say like Knock more so, more likely, because most likely is a more notable example, because Orlok is just kind of straight up evil through and through, but Knock was pretty much just a guy who went insane because he indulged with Orlok at some point.
Yeah, you have like different levels for how much you give into it or not. For example, what was his name? Thomas, um, the husband. I forgot the name because I watched the movie like a couple of months ago. Um, he could have given. He could have like given up, but he like still says to escape and fight it. And then
Yeah,
there's people that just stay neutral but still fall to it in the end, like his friend.
yeah,
So yeah, you have a lot of different sides to it.
yeah. I mean, I mean, the thing with Thomas, was that he just wanted like a good life with Ellen. Essentially, he wanted like what was best for her, and he saw like that
Yeah,
sack of gold that Orlok gave him, and that essentially allowed him to sign the covenant papers, which Orlok doesn't even state. Like, oh, by the way, when you sign this, you are going to be consenting to let me have your wife. Like he's like, because Thomas, like, it's in a language that Thomas can't even read. So
yeah. So this is the Kakol form, the Sneeko form. Yeah, you have to sign it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
the thing is, like personally, I also don't really like horny movies. Like when they are like really sexual. Like I can watch them, but it's like something that kind of awkward having to watch with someone sometimes.
no, I mean
Certain
I get that.
situations.
It's just that, yeah, I get that. It's just that
Yeah, but I
when
would
you
never
have such
say
a
that that's a problem with the movie. That's what I'm trying to say. Like that's in the occasion, that you're watching it with someone else or like a friend. It's like, oh, okay, here we go for the next 5 minutes, I guess. But that's not a fault of the movie.
No, I get you. No, I get you. It's just that for whatever reason, like this is like a fault for this movie in this guy's case when
Yeah,
there's been so many versions of Dracula. Like, in fact, I don't know if there's even any version of Dracula that isn't like that's kind of like more horror oriented, and not obviously not something like Hotel Transylvania or what have you. But like, I don't think there's any version of Dracula in past or even in future that would kind of have the story play out without the sexual undertones. And
yeah,
I just
like
don't know how.
vampires as a whole
So I
are
don't know
kind of
how someone could fault Nosferatu for that if they pretty much
exactly,
are
yeah.
more approving of the other versions doing it. Especially if anything, Nosferatu 2024 is more subtle about it than other versions of Dracula.
Yeah, and when it happens, it's not like this hot thing it's pretty fucking horrible and disgusting.
No, it's not. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the film doesn't treat what happens with Ellen, when she meets Orlok in her youth, as a good thing.
No, I know exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't treat it as like this romanticized version of vampires. It
Yeah.
shows that it's not really a nice thing.
No, it's not.
No,
Like
that-
so the
that's
film
what I was
wants to
saying, yeah.
make it very clear that, hey, it's like, yeah, you guys may think that it's like, oh yeah, you guys think that, like Bela Lugosi, really suave, charismatic version of Dracula, Gary Oldman, very handsome, but it was like, you guys do know that vampires are monsters. They just look like handsome men because that's how they get you.
Yeah. That's something that people just kind of forget since they see, Brad Pitt as a vampire, the ghost as a vampire,
Or they see Robert
this guy with the
Pattinson as
very voice.
or you see
Yeah,
Edward
exactly.
Cullen. I mean, like Twilight. I swear, Twilight must have like ruined ruined vampires for a whole generation because they think that, oh, vampires are like these sexy undead bloodsuckers.
Oh
It's
no,
like,
no, trust me. Women will fuck anything that's not human. I said it. There, I said it. Like, do you know of this book that it's like this huge thing where like they're making balls? Well, it's like a hit with women. So honestly, even if vampires were like monstrous, girls will still read the books and write
Yeah.
about it. Twilight actually didn't change anything. It just made it more accessible. But no, these freaks are all over the place. So actually, Twilight didn't do much. Sadly,
ah,
the damage was already done.
okay, I see.
Humanity is
anyway.
doomed.
Yeah. Anyways, let's continue. All right.
Instead of being about overcoming this cannibalistic monster, Eggers produced a movie about a pedophile who blackmails this woman into sleeping with him. But this is still far from the most egregious scene. See, while Thomas is away at Orlok's castle, Ellen stays with some friends of theirs, Anna and Friedrich Harding, as well as their kids. As a result of Orlok's blackmail later in the film, he murders Anna and her 3 children, which is the breaking point for Friedrich. Now, in order to show that Friedrich is both distraught and has lost his mind, they do the most lazy and disgusting thing possible by having a necrophilic scene of him having sex with his wife's corpse right next to the bodies of their children. What?
The man lost everything and he's dying from the plague. And he's like, he lost his family to something that he thought he could just rationally explain as like the plague, essentially. And he's just completely lost his mind. And he's got the plague himself. He's dying. He's pretty much got nothing left. But yeah, keep in mind, he lost his mind.
Yeah. And
He's-
like I understand that maybe he could have died in any other way, but again, like the fact that he died like this, it doesn't make the movie worse. At least to me, it doesn't. It's
Yeah, and-
horrible, yeah, but it's a horror movie. It's not supposed to be nice.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, like since he loved his family very much, like obviously, like yeah, necrophilia is fucked up. It's it's all kinds of wrong.
Hey,
The film is not. The film does. Right.
I'm just saying it could have been worse. You could have seen the coffin of the kids open too.
Oh
So-
God.
If the movie was actually what this guy was saying, that would have happened, but that
Yeah.
didn't happen.
And we would have
Yeah.
seen it. We would have actually seen him have sex with the corpse. But
Yeah.
no, we just see him kiss the corpse. We cut away, and then we following to Thomas, von Franz, and Sievers get into the cemetery, and they find him already dead and having essentially done the thing. So we just see the aftermath.
Yeah.
We don't see the in between. Like it's like the film doesn't condone this. It's like, yes, the film knows that it's fucked up. It is agreeing with Thomas Sievers and von Franz that this is a fucked up, that is fucked up. And we have to cleanse it. We have to cleanse the crypt. Yes. So it's really weird that he's all like, "What? They're gonna show necrophilia in this movie?"
I mean, since Nosferatu is dead,
yeah, it's like
it's always been that since the beginning of the movie. It's not just this part.
Yeah, like Nosferatu is a living corpse. He is living dead. What do you think the word undead means? Meaning that something died and have come back as something else. Like it's like they're them, like they're still technically that person. Like Dracula is still technically the same man as he was in life,
and all of that.
but he's obviously just become worse, like significantly worse because he's undead. Like,
I hope this guy doesn't watch Reanimator because he's really not gonna like that one.
oh god, oh yeah, I've heard that there's a scene in that. Like that's probably way more explicit than anything that we've seen.
It is actually the wife of the actor who did that scene. She dumped him because of that scene. Maybe she was getting bullied by friends or something. But she left him.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't get why horror is not supposed to touch on these things of all genres.
Yeah,
everything has to be PG-13 or something like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think he's necessarily saying that. I guess it's just kind of bizarre that he is taking such an issue with the film using featuring necrophilia or Dracula or Orlok, essentially kind of having Ellen be like imprinted to be his to be like a soulmate of his in her youth. Like as if it makes no sense in the writing for stuff like that to happen when the way the film does it, it's like I don't see what the problem is with the storytelling here.
Not only that,
I'm waiting for the part where it's like I'm waiting for how this is incompetent storytelling other than that, oh, it's not subtle. Like
or oh, I don't like it.
Yeah. Or oh, that's fucked up.
Also, one more thing, it's like, does it even matter how old she is when the guy is literally like 400 years old? So in comparison, technically, even the oldest adult, is technically a child. I'm just saying.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, but yeah, we don't. But apparently, it's gonna be. But apparently, we take less of the issue with that when we if I mean that's nothing. I mean, you look at like the Mummy as like any version of the Mummy, like the Mummy, like lusting for a younger woman, or Sophia Boutella lusting after Tom Cruise. Like the Mummies are both versions. All those versions, like the Mummy is like thousands of years old, and they're going after someone who's like the age.
I'm just gonna say, if it was a Mummy, like, I wouldn't want anything with it, but if it's the Mummy, the one, the Mummy, as in Mommi or Y, no, I will be fine with that one, honestly. The Mummy.
Anyways. Trying to play here. Here's that.
This is such horrendously lazy writing. There are a million ways to get this message across without resorting to necrophilia. There's a scene later in this film where Ellen reveals her sexual history with Orlok to Thomas. She goes through a myriad of emotions here, going from afraid to very sexually charged and resentful of Thomas. longing for Orlok, even going as far as to say that he was a better lover to her than Thomas could ever be. This scene gets joked about a lot. Like, oh, well, she wasn't possessed, she was just ovulating. But honestly, this feels so gross to me. Not to be too preachy to the people who are enjoying this movie, but these people are happily turning a blind eye to the fact that her saying she wants him isn't because he's tall, dark, and handsome, it's because he canonically groomed her. Then the scene gets even more uncomfortable when this discussion of getting cucked really turns Thomas and Ellen on as they start to have sex before she begins to scream and bleed out of her eyes in a weak jump scare.
That's not
Which I guess
that's
killed
not
the
what
mood for
happened.
Thomas.
What was
It's
that?
not that getting cocked. It's not that getting cocked turned him on. It's like them doing it. It's like a way to defy that.
Yeah, yeah,
And this guy
exactly.
doesn't get it. And yeah, like literally the same thing I said would happen, which is, oh, it made me uncomfortable, therefore it's bad. He's
Yeah.
literally not arguing anything.
Yeah, like Orlok. Yeah. Thomas doesn't want to lose Ellen to Orlok. So he's trying he's pretty much doing everything he can to try to make sure that he doesn't lose his wife.
Yeah,
Like he's the one that pretty much, whether unknowingly or not, let Orlok back into her life essentially, because of the coveted papers. Because of because of everything that in Transylvania that Thomas was sent to do. I take the silence as being agreement.
yeah. I thought they would like play it or something because like I want to see if he actually just finishes his point.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think he will. To be fair, I don't think so. I think we just know what's going to happen, which is I don't like it. Therefore, it's not subtle, and because of that, it's uncomfortable, and because it's uncomfortable, it's bad. There's no actually any argument on
Yeah.
a narrative level.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, let's continue. It's kind of buffering.
Because it thankfully ends shortly after. It was at this very moment when, like Thomas, I completely pulled out of the movie. It was damn near impossible for me to take the story seriously at all when basically every scene was just leading up to more weird sex. In the final third, this movie devolves from a film with potential to one that cares way more about inserting needless, weird sex scenes and insisting that it's high art in the same vein as Saltburn from 2023. I feel like I'm going crazy because someone honest to God put pen to paper and said, what if I rewrite Dracula, but instead of being a vampire, he was a pedophile, and instead of sucking your blood, he wanted to bed your wife. Then every critic on Earth was like, oh yes, this is simply marvelous. Oh. And now this trash is nominated for 5 BAFTAs, 4 Critics' Choice Awards, and an 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's sweeping these nominations up. So
Maybe it's because it's still good, even if you don't like it.
Yeah, it's
Just
still
saying.
good, even if it has those things in it that you.
Yeah, imagine someone saying, "Dude, like I didn't like this movie about like World War II because the Nazis were killing Jews and that made me uncomfortable."
Yeah, it's like saying Schindler's List is bad just because it showed innocent
Yeah,
people.
dude, they didn't need to kill a kid in it. That's so unnecessary. Like they're so lazy. They just went for the easy
They wanted to
pull of the
shock us.
heartstrings. Yeah, exactly. And the guy crying at the end because he couldn't say one more. Who does that? Like that's so forced, so lazy,
Yeah,
and people like it. How dare they?
yeah, it's it really is just so it's so this is just kind of more of a you problem and not the film's problem then. If the storytelling isn't incompetent, it's just not for your taste. I just don't know, I don't know what else to say other than it's other than that is I don't see how this since this film has these disturbing stuff in it, that means it's incompetent now, and that it shouldn't be worthy of this praise. It's like maybe it's just because it's still a good story, regardless of whether or not that stuff is in there.
Yeah, yeah, and also again in horror stories more than anything, it's like you cannot really complain that much about this without being like um how is it intolerant? No, it's not intolerant. It's something else. But like the thing is, you need to take this. He needs to chill. Basically, it's like if you don't like it, okay. But why are you watching a horror movie with vampires
Yeah,
in it?
why are you watching? Why are you even like watching anything Dracula related? Because quite frankly, the sexual, because like the dark sexual stuff and all that, that's kind of it's a thing in all these movies. I even stated like how it, like in the 1931 Dracula, like Mina would never let some guy like sneak into her bedroom in the middle of the night to drink her blood and then hypnotize her into going outside of her house to drink some of that same guy's blood, so that she could become a vampire like him. Like that's like she was obviously under an influence, doing things that she would not consent to.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then someone like fucks a werewolf or some shit like that. I didn't like that one, that
Uh,
movie. And honestly, I think that that's way more
Oh no, I was
unsubtle.
actually no. What I was actually the stuff I was referring to, that was the Bela Lugosi Dracula. You were just referring to
Okay.
the '90s
To
Dracula.
the yeah, 90s. Yeah. Sorry, I got it mixed up.
No, that's fair. There's a
Yeah,
lot
but
of
I
Dracula.
guess that adds to the point you're making, which is literally all of these have like fucked up sexual stuff.
Yeah, yeah, it really is that. Like that's the like that's the point of like the last voyage of the Demeter has a line that tells us about what Dracula is perfectly. He is a monster that can look like that can look like a man. Like that's kind of like he's
Yeah.
using the man is the mask, essentially.
Yeah,
Like
and honestly, I just wish we got another movie for that one because I really think that they nailed the design of the quote unquote man. It's so fucked up that we will never see it again.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
well,
no,
I mean,
this guy should have gone and watched like I don't know Frankenstein or something like that instead of watching this. If this is the kind of complaints you're gonna have.
yeah, like I mean, here's a like. I mean, I will say about the Last Boy's Demeter thing, like his like the way he kind of looked at the end of that movie when he's during the final scene of that film. I will say it does kind of make me wonder, like, so like yeah, it is kind of a shame that we'll never get a sequel, because it make me wonder how he could justify looking like that out in public. Because he really did look like he does look like Orlok. Like
Yeah, yeah, it's ironic. Yeah, it's supposed to be Dracula, but this version ends up looking more like Orlok. The
yeah,
thing is, I think that they will have, there are ways in which you could do it. Like maybe you can say that the more blood he drinks, the more human-ish he ends up looking, something like that,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah. I mean, well, I mean, I guess that's what they were trying to do with that. I suppose, but again, that could have just that would have been left open for us to find out in a sequel, which we will not
Yeah,
get.
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I wish we would
Yeah,
have seen more because I do think that they had good ideas.
yeah. I mean, like
Just
what I mean,
visually, it was so creepy.
yeah. All we pretty much have is just the what is. We can only talk so much about what
Yeah,
if. Before it's just like, yeah, but that's still not in the movie though.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
but anyways, back to whether or not the storytelling in Nosferatu is incompetent. Which so far, I gotta say, I'm not too impressed with.
I've been here late, but just because of this last 10 minutes, I'm also like not really hoping for anything that's like actual criticism.
Yeah, well, we're over halfway the video at least, so
Okay.
we're doing good. All right.
serving films just get ignored. It's genuinely infuriating to me. I've also been seeing this movie get praised up and down for its accuracy. Accuracy to what? To be fair, I haven't seen the 70s version, so that must be what you're all talking about, because
it's just another version of Nosferatu. Like, it doesn't like if you're gonna okay. So is he accurate? So his complaint now is
Wait, but maybe we should let it play. Yeah, just in case. Just in case.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, right. So he has not seen the '79 version. So
Hmm.
yeah. Apparently, he has not seen the 1979 version that Werner Herzog made of Nosferatu, the '70s film. But
Yeah,
anyway,
but I'm guessing he's going to say that it doesn't seem like accurate at all
To the
to the
book.
20s version.
to the
But yeah,
Bram Stoker book, I think.
Yeah,
That's where
exactly.
it's gonna go. But let's get into it.
it sure as hell isn't to Dracula or the original. I'll admit that it was closer to the original than it was to Dracula, but it's lacking a lot of the style, and it adds on a bunch of useless plot details claiming to be for the purpose of fleshing out the characters. When in reality, Ellen was just given a gross backstory, and everyone else was hypersexualized. Also, I want to go off script for a minute and add a note that these topics are not things that are completely taboo in cinema or storytelling. It's just mind-boggling to me why you'd add this when it's completely unnecessary and doesn't serve.
Okay, there's some text on the screen that says, all right, there's some text on the screen here. It says,
okay.
I've seen some people say that this is in service of a theme of repressed sexuality, but I feel like that was a concept explored much better before adding in the scenes that strip away consent, necrophilia, grooming, etc. Again, these only serve to hurt the narrative, and the original achieves these messages in a much better way regardless.
Mm,
Uh,
I mean, I don't see how having the non-consensual stuff suddenly negates everything else, because I think that the movie is not trying to say that it's all part of the same thing. Like they're clearly different. Like it clearly treats her relationship with Thomas very differently than how it treats the thing with Orlok, or what happens then at the cemetery, right? So the movie
exactly.
never says that they are similar or part of the same spectrum, or anything like that. It doesn't even make any comparisons. It's clearly good against evil. And then with the cemetery thing, it's despair.
Yeah.
He, in a way, I'm going to make this comparison. In a way, how when the nuke kills people, that's like you're the lucky one if you want to integrate it. But if you're the one that survives the blast, you're the one that's going to suffer the most. I think that's what they're trying to do with Nosferatu, with Orlok, where it's like if she
You're
didn't kill Frederick. Yeah.
you kind of
Yeah.
roboted there a bit.
Okay. Does it sound a little bit better now, or is it still robotic?
You're good. You're good. You just kind of
Okay.
roboted there.
I was comparing it to like dying from radiation because of a nuke, compared to just being obliterated in the blast.
Yeah.
The kids and the wife are actually the lucky ones when they get killed by Orlok, but Frederick is the one that suffers the most. Because
Yeah.
you're here regretting everything you did wrong. He has the plague on top of everything, so it shows that level of despair that comes with to someone that actually survived such a horrible fucked up thing as losing their whole family.
Yeah.
And
Especially when
yeah,
he's like
yeah,
the man of the house.
exactly, yeah, and he failed at everything the way he sees it. Is it necessary to make him end you know his life in that way, like fucking a corpse? No. Is it like wrong to do that? No. Like the movie's not saying it's okay to do that. So uh,
Yeah.
were there other ways in which this could have been like shown? Maybe, yeah, sure. There's infinite ways of doing it, but it doesn't mean that every single time someone does something that you don't like in a movie,
Yeah.
you can say that it's bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
like just because
yeah.
there were, yeah, I mean, there could be other ways that they could show Friedrich, sort of falling into despair, but that doesn't mean that what we got is bad. Like, it doesn't,
Yeah,
like, we need to know why is this bad? Like, other than that, oh, because necrophilia is wrong. It's like, I understand that.
but
We
sucking
don't,
blood is also bad.
but
I'm
sorry,
just saying.
drinking blood is bad. Well,
Yeah, it could give you AIDS. I'm just saying, like, we shouldn't promote that.
yeah, I mean,
But
vampire bats need blood because that's kind of their sustenance. But that's because that's what they need to. That's what they need to drink anyways for sustenance.
yeah,
That's not a matter of like grooming or being sexually active with someone. That's just for survival. They're just.
yeah.
But
But yeah,
yeah,
so far, and he said that then he also said that it wasn't accurate to the original movie or Dracula. And what I would say is, even if people were claiming that the movie was accurate and that's why they were liking it, even if those people were wrong, what's the problem with it
yeah,
being inaccurate according to him?
yeah. So,
So
but like,
I'm not saying that it is, because I do think that it's accurate in the style. He said that the style is completely different, and it's like, I mean, yeah, dude, it's like a mute, silent movie. Of course, the style is gonna be different,
yeah,
but
and
where it mattered, I feel like it did adapt, and in a lot of ways, it went far and beyond the style of the original. It never went against the style, but it improved on it
yeah,
in a
it
lot
took
of ways.
yeah, it stuck with the German expressionistic visual style of the original, but while also showing off, like showing it with like with what modern technology and effects can sort of give you, like
Yeah,
like
yeah, like,
obviously what the original was able to accomplish in terms of the visual aspect is still very impressive. Like nothing will take that away from it. But
yeah,
but this new film does update it in a real updates it really well.
yeah, like when he's like in the middle of the crossroads, and like the carriage comes to pick him up, and
Yeah,
you just like that part is beautiful. Like, I think that's, yeah, it just does things that you couldn't do at the time, you know um cameras couldn't really record that well, actually, at all at nighttime. So does that mean that this movie shouldn't record anything at nighttime just because it needs to be like accurate to the source? No, 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 it doesn't mean that. Like, you should be able to shoot something at night, even if in the silent era you couldn't like shoot anything at afternoon sometimes because the cameras were so bad at picking up light.
yeah.
So
And
yeah,
as far as like
he's
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
I don't know. I was going to say that if he wants to go with the accurate thing, then every movie that adapts something and decides to like not limit itself, then by definition is bad. So I
Yeah,
just think that's kind of dumb.
yeah, it is. And also like the whole inaccuracy issue in terms of how this film was inaccurate to other versions of Dracula. It's like like how many versions of Dracula are out there that are out film versions of Dracula are out there that you could say like fall into that same category of being inaccurate, because it's like there are plenty of versions, there are like so many versions of Dracula out there that are not that accurate to the source material whatsoever.
Yeah,
I'll just use an example. There's the Frank Langella version of Dracula from 1979. That's like a remake of Universal's version. Um, that one, like, doesn't even start with Jonathan Harker or anybody like going to Dracula's castle, going to Transylvania to have Dracula sign the lease and all that to move to Whitby, England. Like the film just they just like had it to where the stuff was like mailed to Dracula, and he just like, and the film just like starts with Dracula arriving in England, and they sent the stuff to him. They didn't send anybody in person to sign it. They just mailed it. So so that alone is like a very, like we don't even see Transylvania in that version. Like we're in England the
yeah.
entire
Or for
time.
example, the first two chapters or 2.5 chapters, I guess I could say, from that Dracula BBC show. You
Hmm.
know, like that was inaccurate. Does it mean that it's bad just because of that? No, like I liked it. There's people that can see that it's bad for other reasons, not necessarily accuracy. Um, or not. There's like even cartoon versions, like movies that are not supposed to be like super horror, but are maybe like child's horror or something like that. Like, are those suddenly bad because they decide to go on a more childish route instead of the adult themes with the sexuality and all of that? No. Like,
Yeah,
accuracy is
and that,
just a bad factor to say that something is good or bad.
yeah, and that's why the whole like. Well, I understand like I understand. Well, while I understand Zim's sort of philosophy about like adaptation, like argument in terms of like film was like a bad adaptation. Like I still kind of like that can only like that sort of sentiment can only carry it so far if but if, like the movie itself on its own is good, even if it's just a name only of what it's based on, like then it's like okay, it's not a great adaptation, but I mean like if a film still stands on its own well, with a solid script, then I don't really see much of a reason to complain about it. It's like it's a good movie, just
Yeah,
not a great adaptation.
yeah, and sometimes the character just surpasses its own story, like Kong or Dracula, you know. So, like,
Yeah,
as long as you have the character and the character is well done, it's like the story doesn't really matter. You can do something different. How
yeah,
many
that's what.
versions of the original King Kong story were we supposed to have? Like, thank God we got Skull Island. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
it would
I
have
mean,
been
yeah,
so boring to see the same thing over and over and over again.
I get you. Yeah, and especially considering that each version of that same story, was just like bigger and bigger with more updated effects. With Peter Jackson's King Kong, kind of like I still stand by with Peter Jackson's King Kong being a good movie. It's just
Yeah, yeah, me too. I
and
think
I
it's a little bit too long for its own good. Maybe you can like cut off some parts, but I still think it's like the second best.
yeah, and I still think it's kind of more relatively. It's still more faithful to the spirit of the original King Kong than I think Zim would give it credit for. But that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, back to the video.
To actually say anything. But getting back on track here, it is certainly inaccurate to the original, only sharing a name and a few story beats. These additions and the removal of vampire lore completely changes the way that we understand and interact with the film. But it is especially inaccurate to the book. On top of
Okay, so all right, let's go over this real quick. Lau, quick question, do you or do you not think that Nosferatu 2024 does away with vampire lore?
No, I think it actually does more with it than the typical movie you see nowadays, and even
Yeah.
Dracula to a certain degree. Dracula mixed in a lot of other folklore, not just the vampire stuff. I think
Yeah.
this is really good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if anything, like it's funny how he says how he said that the film lacks subtlety, and yet the film is actually more subtle in its approach about giving us tidbits and pieces of how Orlok's vampirism works than the original, which just kind of has Thomas or Jonathan like read a book, and the camera's like on like a bunch of shows a bunch of text, just explaining how what a vampire is and how they operate. Um, but yeah, and apparently now it's an issue that this film is not accurate to the book at all. It's like, well, again, neither is the original or the '79 version of Nosferatu. So I guess we're not allowed to make another version of Nosferatu again just because it's not accurate to Dracula. Because like the novel version of Dracula isn't, or other versions of Dracula aside from Nosferatu, they aren't necessary. They aren't allegories of the Black Plague or or death the way Nosferatu is. Like Dracula is like just is an allegory of like like sort of like dark sexual undertones and what have you, which Orlok is. But but Orlok is also like a representative of death, and and plague, and so on. I mean, I've kind of iterated this earlier in the stream, but what do you think, Lau? Still muted. I'll wait your reply for a few seconds before I start to get the video back going. Okay. Okay, Lau, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm gonna get the video back up and going. Here we go. Oh. Okay, you're going on the subway. Gotcha. All right. I'll continue.
The structural issues that we've already covered.
It's still buffering. God damn it.
There are some major differences, even down to the major story beats. Both Nosferatu films cut off in what would be the middle of the book. But where I think the original did it is...
And it's still buffering. Yeah, give me a second. I'm backing up here real quick.
There are some major differences, even down to the major story beats. Both Nosferatu films cut off in what would be the middle of the book. But where I think the original did it as a result of the limited technology of the time, this is a deliberate choice in the 2024 version. The biggest example of this is that Dracula doesn't win in the end, unlike Orlok. So many of the problems with this movie would be solved had they found a way to defeat him like they did Dracula. Not only would it subvert the expectations set up in the first few minutes, but it would also help with the issues regarding it simply not feeling like a vampire movie. Another reason why this is an unfaithful adaptation is because Dracula's subtext actually
still buffering. Jesus Christ.
Has very little to do with these topics. As mentioned earlier, it does have sexual undertones. But Dracula, in my understanding, is primarily a commentary on STIs, particularly syphilis, as well as maintaining one's sexual purity. They sort...
Okay. All right. Here, let me just check. So the main thing about this is like, okay, so Orlok wins at the end, even, which is funny because like he is like, sure, he gets Ellen, but Ellen keeps him around until he dies. So, and Orlok wasn't really expecting that to happen. So it's like, he just wants Ellen to repledge her vows to him. He wasn't expecting her to use that against him. So he's still kind of lost in the end because he died. He was killed by the end. So, and that's the case with every version. Okay, maybe not so much the vow repledging it being in the other versions, aside from 2024, but you get what I mean. Yeah. Anyways.
Sort of explore this by the Nosferatu bringing the plague with it, but it's really unimportant overall. Like, every death caused by the plague could be replaced with a mauling and mean the exact same thing to the narrative in Nosferatu. Whereas in Dracula, it's the main focus. I mean, the story is about a monster traveling to London in order to spread his infectious blood disease that turns anyone infected into a moralless monster.
Well, the 2024 film still has that.
Apparently it's a bad thing to add new ideas, even if they actually make complete sense.
Yeah, well,
Fuck
not just
creativity, I guess.
yeah, well, not just that, but these are like old ideas that we've seen before, but they're like explored in a different way now compared to what we got. In the
Yeah,
past.
wasn't he always like related to rats?
Orlok, yeah, like rats are actually kind of the main thing because they spread the plague.
Yeah, exactly. So it's circular.
Yeah, so like he's still spreading a disease in Nosferatu 2024. It's just not a blood disease. He's spreading like his own brand of like destruction across Visburg, like what he does in like what the other Dracula does. So, but with blood disease, what have you, sexually transmitted infections or something like
Yeah,
that.
but since he doesn't like it, that means it's bad. So yeah.
Which is bizarre because the 2022 version he does like also has the whole plague thing. So, and it's also in the 79 film as well. So but it's the 2024 version. So does it? So it's bad in it. I just don't get it. It's like recency bias, but like but in the
In a negative
negative
way.
side. Yeah, it's like a subversion of like the recency bias thing that you get, where people like
He's,
overly positive
he's
about
like a
something new.
contrarian to the recency bias.
Yeah, like I don't. Yeah, I just don't. I don't get it.
And this was written by a man with syphilis in a time where syphilis was rampant across Britain, and when more conservative or older individuals were beginning to become concerned regarding women keeping their chastity as empowerment movements began to spread across Europe.
But why is this a bad thing in Nosferatu 2024? What is? I don't. But how is Nosferatu 2024 doing this poorly now? Like, again, on the one, like, it's like, on the one hand, like, I'm glad this video is only 15 minutes, but on the other hand, because it's not overly long, but if it's like gonna be like of this quality, but on the other hand, like, I can't help but think that if you are gonna put that much research into the book and other versions of Nosferatu or Dracula, what have you, I never think you probably that this video could have used to be some more
More explanation, right? Maybe.
more explanation, just like more going more in depth in the film itself and why it's incompetent storytelling.
Yeah, like if you know that everyone else likes it, then you should know that you'll need to explain why you don't,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
you think
like
that they're wrong. Yeah.
yeah, like that you're going to be in the minority about this film from the critical standpoint, and you were like, no, I believe that this film is not good, and I intend to prove why that's the case. Yeah, you should like kind of go a bit more detail it into why the film is bad, and maybe try to like just prove more mechanically why the film is bad, as opposed to just talking about how it fails as an adaptation. Um, like I think you would get better. You probably would get further going that way.
Yeah, like what Cianimus did with Shin.
Yeah, what Cianimus did with Shin, what I did with Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, or GXK. So yeah.
If we were to adapt these concepts in the literal sense, like Nosferatu tries to do with the whole sex thing, we just have a film about a castle-dwelling freak who spreads his STIs to unsuspecting women. And somehow, that still sounds less obscene than what we ended up with. In the end, Nosferatu is an
Yeah. No, this film is
Kind of
kind of.
sounds like a nun, like the nun guy that you cannot, say anything in front of because he always gets like offended.
because he's so pure. Like I just find it so weird that he decided to talk about this movie and watch it.
Yeah,
When
yeah, yeah. It's weird, but I think we're getting to the conclusion, or we're getting close to the end. We're getting there.
And somehow, that still sounds less obscene than what we ended up with.
Still buffering.
In the end, Nosferatu is an incompetently written adaptation of a better adaptation of a much better book. But the most important thing that this movie does, in my eyes, is that it highlights a problem plaguing Hollywood right now. One that I honestly don't see many people discussing. And it's also one that I'm getting so exhausted from reiterating constantly. And I know this next section may come off as if I'm doing a complete 180, but just hear me out. Nosferatu has a lot of good elements. For example, it has fantastic acting. Holt and Dafoe are incredible as always, and I was especially surprised by Lily Rose Depp, who I'd honestly never seen in anything before. I think the biggest standout, though, is Bill.
It's funny. It's funny how like he talks about Lily Rose Depp, but she shows Emma Corrin, who isn't Lily Rose Depp. Like you couldn't get footage of Lily Rose Depp from whatever featurette that you got that from. It's like what?
Yeah.
And also, he states like how this is an incompetently written film, and yet, like, there wasn't really a whole lot that we got out of this to explain why it's incompetently written. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess we're now starting to get into some positives about the film, which is like, oh yeah, it's really well directed, and it's wonderfully acted.
Bill Skarsgård, who plays the Count. His performance is certainly aided a lot by the sound design, lighting, and cinematography as well, but
no, actually, he was trained by I think it was someone who does tutoring for opera singers to
he was training with someone that does like Mongolian throat singing,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he actually got physical training for with like Mongolian throat singing to get his voice to sound like that. So it's not even tech. So he wasn't even like there may be like a couple pitches here and there, but that's mainly just because of the sound design in terms of like to like get like echoes going in a place like either the castle or in the I guess like the astral plane area that him and Ellen go into when they have that conversation that night. His voice that was all him. There was no there was no tweaking to his voice or anything. That was all Bill, which is even more impressive.
Yeah.
He manages to maintain this dominating and horrifying presence that kept me on the edge of my seat throughout the first 2/3 of the film. And the booming voice he does for the characters sent shivers down my spine with each line of dialogue. It truly is incredible work. As touched on earlier, this is also a very visually impressive movie. To my understanding, the effects are almost entirely practical, and I love the way they play with lights and shading to evoke the tone of those black and white silent era films.
Mm-hmm.
The set design plays into this too, paying great homage to the German expressionist style of the early 20th century. Now,
didn't he say that they didn't have the same style?
Qualities of the film while simultaneously saying.
What was that?
He literally just said that they paid homage to the style of the first one, but before he said that he didn't do that. So, yeah.
So basically he's saying so previously he said that visually the film isn't that accurate to the original and then he just says this. Says that it homages the original really well. Like, which is it? Does it homage the original well, or does it not? I don't. Obviously, where we stand, as far as where we're standing, it doesn't homage it really well. So, But anyways,
that it was unwatchable. And this is exactly the heart of the problem. Jared Blashka did the cinematography. Willem Dafoe was the best actor, and Craig Lathrop was the production designer and
I mean, Willem Dafoe was great, but I mean, the funny thing is, he wasn't even the best actor in the film. Like, he's great in it. I want to make that clear. Willem Dafoe was great in this film, but yeah, like you got like Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Bill Skarsgård, like they were incredible in this. Like Willem Dafoe is well, yeah, he's Willem Dafoe. He's great. He's gonna be great in anything. Oh, and we just lost Lau. I will say I do appreciate that he's at least, unlike Adam here, Copy at least like acknowledges that Bill Skarsgård was like not only great in this, but at least he's not saying things like I've never found mustaches to be scary. At least he hasn't said anything stupid about the mustache thing, which I mean I'll say that much. But anyways, we're getting to the end.
art director. Now notice which name I didn't give any credit to. That's right, writer and director Robert Eggers. 2024 brought a whole slew of what I like to call...
Oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, Subway.
Oh. Yeah, I know there's like a lot of sound, but you're also kind of roboting there, sounding. Or at least it sounds like it. But yeah, apparently Robert Eggers didn't do good here as a writer or director. All right, let's hear how he qualifies that.
Called Beautiful Slop. So many productions poured millions into getting the best of the best in terms of cinematography, acting, and art direction. Every film company right now is competing not to tell a great story, but to look pretty enough to make the Hollywood elites who decide what to give the awards to a film that makes them look like they have a refined palate.
Well, I mean, we have plenty of films that have like millions upon millions of dollars thrown at them, and they still look like shit. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, and they call Nosferatu beautiful slop. That's I'm not as adverse to referring to something as slop, even if it's for hyperbole purposes, but
it's like, are you saying that this is on the same level as GDK and GXK? Because that's what slop is, by the way, or like Marvel stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Or Megan 2.0 is like an example. Like that movie's like pretty slop kind of shit.
Yeah.
I
don't get it.
I don't get it either. Well, we're almost
you can
there.
say it's overrated, like I think that's fine if you think it's overrated.
Yeah.
You should explain why first.
Yeah, exactly. Like even if you're just like, I recognize it's good, but it just didn't do much for me emotionally or personally. It's like that's fine. That's fine. Like if it just didn't appeal to you all that much, even if you recognize the quality in it, then no harm, no foul, really. It's just, but yeah, like if you're gonna claim that there's incompetent storytelling in the film and that it doesn't do the original Nosferatu or Dracula justice at all in execution, then you better I would say like. Even I'd say you would better I would like to hear your reasons, which is funny because he even said at the start of this video that he spent a month trying to put this video together, and do research on it so that he could prepare for it.
So what it really means is he spent 25 days thinking of how to do this, and then he gave up.
Well,
that's what it sounds like.
Well, he claims that he watched the original Nosferatu and read the book, and sort of ruminated on this film after seeing it. Spent a month doing that, and and then it's like put together, and then he put together a script for this.
And this is what he does. This vague posting video thing. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend like as you saw. Like I made my first video like this month. I was going to do something else, but it was like really hard, and I just didn't have the time. So like I get it, but then just take more time. Like just if you really want to do this, like the movie's been out for like how many months now?
Well, I
Um,
mean, as this video was made,
mhm.
it looks like it looks like it says this video came out 9 months ago.
Oh,
So
okay. So it was recent, relatively recent. Um,
9 months ago, that's like no, actually, it was back. Yeah, well, it was back in It was released back in January. So the
okay,
movie was
so
so the movie
yeah,
was out for like the movie released on Christmas. He saw it, and then it took him until like late in like mid to late January to put the video out.
yeah. Okay, so literally a month after. Yeah, so I feel like he just gave up on making like a good video with ideas and explanations, and he just wanted to make it while the iron was hot. You know?
I kind of think I'm starting. I pretty much want to try to be as good faith about it as possible. Like I think he actually does believe that he made a solid video here. It's just that it's not
No, no.
really.
What I'm saying is not that he did it on purpose. It's a different mentality. I think that he said this is good enough, you know, instead of saying this is like actually good. No, it's fine enough, like there it goes. Render, upload, done.
Yeah, yeah, which is kind of a shame compared to what I've done with my video, where it's like, um, where I've kind of like spent months like where I've watched the film, even seen it a couple times, even done a couple streams on it, write out the
Yeah,
script, take months, and then over the course of some months, and then put it up, and then put it out when it's ready. So
yeah, exactly. Like I know it's hard, and actually it's way harder than people think making a script for a video, and then if you don't like your own voice, then what the fuck are you gonna do, right? Like you have
yeah,
to record the thing several times. But yeah, no, it's just that there's no point. So that's where I cannot really in good faith say that this guy actually put any effort into it, because there's no point. It's all, yeah, this I didn't like it. Yeah, no, this other thing, yeah, no, this could have been better.
yeah. I
Oh,
honestly think he
this,
was.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like he wanted to wanted to like prove like why the film was bad and try to justify why he thinks the film was like as overrated as it is and why it's like but he's like trying to like be much more confident about it, but for whatever, but it like that just kind of but it just kind of fell through in this case.
yeah,
Like I definitely want to like here's the thing. I haven't seen much of his other work, so I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and that maybe he probably has done better videos, aside from this, and that this is just kind of like a misfire.
yeah,
So
yeah. No, me too. I'm only talking about this specific video.
no, I
I don't
get
know
that.
anything about his other stuff.
No,
But
I
yeah.
get that. I just wanted to put that out there,
Oh, okay, okay, fair. Yeah,
So,
I just like again, I'm open to someone not liking the movie. Like, it's not like I'm gonna get personally offended. It's just I really was expecting a little bit,
yeah,
more.
yeah. Like if you're gonna say that the video is, yeah, this is kind of why I kind of like said to you guys on Discord, like I'm definitely covering this video because I'm like because like it really was just like I expected more of reasoning as to why the movie's bad. Apparently, even though
Yeah.
like I mean, yeah, obviously I consider Nosferatu 2024 to be a great movie. So you're gonna need to do a lot of convincing for me to come around to whatever. It had some really good points. And
Yeah.
unfortunately that just didn't happen here. And maybe it is just because the movie actually really is that good and some people just are off the mark in their judgment. I don't know. Like it's
Yeah.
just one of those things. It's like when something is like obviously good, it just but if it doesn't, like if it just didn't resonate.
Maybe he will watch it in a couple of years and he will think that, oh, like, well, what was I thinking, right?
I was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that can happen to people. It happened to me with Jaws. So like I don't judge or anything.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah. Anyways, let's get to the end here because we are at the end game now.
Something that looks and reads like it's high art, despite just being a boring film about a pedophile, or a drawn-out recap of a previous film, or a good message and concept with absolutely no substance. We're seeing...
Oh, he's like talking about how like you have like these millions of dollars thrown at movies that aren't that good, and he like talked some examples he pulled up. He used Nosferatu as one example. The second example was Joker 2, which yes, that movie's terrible. And the third example where he says like it has absolutely no substance or something like that, is I Saw the TV Glow. Just since I don't have visuals, I have to like explain like what he just pulled up there.
Okay, I don't even know what I Saw the TV Glow is. It sounds interesting though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like, I mean, the thing is, if he says that it's bad, due to this video, I don't actually know if it's bad. So now I'm kind of interested.
Yeah, well, I mean, he mentioned that Joker Folie à Deux is bad, which I agree with.
Oh well, I mean, but that's really easy to say. Okay, that one's bad. Like it's a very basic.
But it's certainly not an easy thing to say that it and Nosferatu 2024 somehow fit in the same category of bad, which is like what?
Yeah, it's not really comparable.
No, not even remote, not even not even with the narrative you're trying to go with, as far as like these are films that are beautifully made, really well shot, well directed, but they have really poor writing, and they have no substance, whatever you, blah blah blah. Yeah, no, like Nosferatu 2024 was clearly a labor of love, by people who loved the original. Joker Folie à Deux was made by Todd Phillips, who just completely who did not understand his own first Joker movie.
Yeah, he just wanted a paycheck.
He sabotaged everything. He pretty much committed career suicide with Joker 2. Like that's maybe intentionally. Who even at this point, I could believe that he did it on purpose, just so it'd be like, what, I just want to quit making movies, so I'm just gonna make this.
but that's so weird, right? Like, I don't think so. But also, like, Joker 2 is like an exception to everything, to reality, to the laws of physics, even.
Oh yes. It's a like, and that's and that's why I pretty much said in the Superman debate that James Gunn's Superman isn't even like the worst thing that DC's made in the last couple of years, because Joker 2 exists.
Yeah,
Joker 2 and the Flash. Like I mean, I still stand by that James Gunn's Superman is really bad, but it ain't Joker 2 bad. Or the Flash bad. So like we're not in that territory. You have to try to make something as bad as those. But yeah, Anyways, we're almost done. We're almost done, I promise.
Almost.
Almost there.
These pretentious movies crop up more and more that refuse to ask
Still buffering.
the question of if they actually have something worth making, a story worth telling, and instead just immediately ask, do you think we could get Willem Dafoe on this project? I am sick
Okay, come on.
and tired of every single review I do starting with, well, it's certainly pretty to look at, but a horrendous story. It's so immensely frustrating to watch film after film with the exact same problem, with nothing to say. No.
I mean, well, I mean that's a lot of films these days, but Nosferatu just ain't one of them. Anyways,
Yeah, it makes me wonder if maybe this guy, it's so fucking black pilled that even when he gets something good, he's like convincing himself, no,
Yeah.
it's secretly bad. It's secretly bad. I will hate it in 2 months.
yeah, I
And
mean, it's kind of weird. It's like, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree that there's a lot of really terrible films out there that look really nice, but they have really bad scripts. Where it's like I agree with that with the sentiment that it's getting really tiring to just have to say that. Where it's like, yeah, it looks good, but the script is dog shit. But Nosferatu is just not one of them. But I'm not gonna say it about Nosferatu because, like, I pretty much know what because it has a good script and it looks good. So it's like, hey, we got both. You can yes, we can have both. It's possible. We just have to learn how to recognize it.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we just need to like not be so overwhelmed by the bad stuff just around it. That, and I know there's a lot of it, but like it can be pretty easy for. It's why it's kind of like getting a little bit harder for me to get by with EFAP at this point these days. Like, I mean, like even though I still listen to their content occasionally, like it is just kind of like one of those things where like, oh, there's like so many terrible movies out there that are like 2s or 3s or 1s. It's like are there that many though? Like, I mean, I don't
yeah.
doubt that they're out there,
Maybe
but
you're
they're just,
watching the literal equivalent of fast food for movies, and you just have to accept that your taste and your decisions are part of the problem because you gave money to these horrible movies.
yeah,
Instead
yeah,
of
but
actually going and watching something like, do you think IFAB will go and watch the Chainsaw Man movie, for example? That one's
I
good.
yeah,
I don't think they will talk about it.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like
I
it's
think it's safe to say that they won't.
yeah, no, probably not. I mean, well, I don't know if Chainsaw Man is good. I mean, I hear people say that's
Oh,
good.
trust me. I watched it with a friend that doesn't actually, like watch any of that. We watched the first season together, and then we just went to the cinema all in one day. Yeah, no, he really liked it, and I can also tell you, like, it's good. It's really good.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess it's just a matter of like, since that one is sort of like, I guess a continuation of the anime, it could just be one of those things where, like, if I were to try to watch it, I would just be like, I guess it's good, but I was kind of lost by a lot of
Yeah,
the
no, for sure. You have to watch the first season, but the thing is, there's good stuff everywhere, and if you put the time into good things, you will get more good things. But
Yeah,
if you put your time into Star Wars and then you cry all the time, well, you get what you fucking deserve.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of like why, like, like, even though I am mildly morbidly curious about like that stupid that fucking Mandalorian movie, I'm not gonna go see it in theaters, even though, like, even though it's like, oh, it's a Star Wars movie, but it's like I don't have that kind of passion for Star Wars anymore, so I'm not gonna go. I'll wait for it to come out for rental, but I'm not gonna go see it in the theater.
Yeah,
I just have no
like
desire to do that.
yeah, like with Andor, for example, I waited until the second season came out, and I heard that the second season was also good, and the last
season. That there's no more bullshit after that.
Yeah,
And when only when I heard about it, I decided, okay, I'm going to watch it. You know,
yeah.
you need to be, use critical thinking and stuff like that. You
That's
cannot
what.
just
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did with Andor. Like I waited for an opportunity for for the show to be complete, for the series to be complete, and then find the time to watch both to binge through both seasons. And well, I can pretty much understand that some of the critiques about how the second season seemed like that they were just trying to like pack as much sort of story in as possible. That seemed like that they could have like expanded upon and like into like more seasons with each sort of section, where it's like every time you have like 1 year later, and so on and so on. It still did it really well. It's just like let's just like tell the story that we need to tell within the limited time that we have, and they used it really efficiently. Um,
yeah,
and yeah, Andor is really good. So and I'm glad that I watched it.
yeah,
So yeah, it's not to say that I hate that I just pretty much despise that I just don't like Disney Star Wars or everything Disney Star Wars has made. It's just it's
you
like
you have to choose, like with every single thing in life. You just have to use your brain for 2 seconds.
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
I can only like I'm not gonna. There's only so much bullshit I'm gonna swallow before in the theaters or when it immediately comes out on like streaming before I just be like fuck this. I'm just gonna wait. Like this can wait. I'm not that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly. You have some self control.
and I can understand that it's their job, EFAP, to try to cover this stuff while the iron is hot. So for views and for super chats, but it makes me wonder would they still be if they would still be successful if they were covering good stuff,
No,
like
they
actual.
wouldn't. Almost for sure they wouldn't, because the movies are dead and cinema is dead. All of that. People, their fans, for what I see in the comments, they just love that. Because it justifies their views. They don't want to be challenged. They don't want to be told, "Hey, actually, there's this like Norwegian movie that's like in black and white, and you should." No, they won't watch that.
Yeah,
And they will feel like they're being treated as pretentious, because when your movie sucks went and actually told people, hey, you could go to a film festival, all I saw was people defending how impossible apparently is to go to a film festival.
hmm.
Which, no, it's not, but it's easier to be lazy and complain. And sadly, we live in the times where people just want to complain. They need problems. They need to be victims of some type of like system that's trying to make the frogs gay, or on the other side, that's trying to kill like all, like whatever you support, something else is trying to like destroy it. And yeah, you can cry about that while you drink your Starbucks, I guess.
Yeah. But anyways, we're almost done with the video. Let's get through it. We've got less than a minute actually, so. And I think this is an outro. I think the last bit of it is like an outro, so yeah.
No story to tell. Nosferatu is
It's still buffering right to the very end.
the cinema equivalent of jingling keys in front of film bros' faces, and I'm tired of pretending like productions like this have any merit.
Key jing. Nosferatu No 2024 is key jangling. That's like we had this really neat discussion about EFAP and like and black pilling and all that, and then we just go to like Nosferatu is just key jangling for
Key
film
jangling.
bros. It's
How is he
Twilight
even
for the
doing
film
that according to this
fanatics.
guy? How is it doing? And he also doesn't explain that either. Like, is he going to explain anything
Yeah, he
in this
does. No,
video?
he doesn't. Is it just what is it because like this film features more necrophilia than other versions of Dracula or
Wait, but if you're talking about key jangling, does it mean that he wants more of it?
You know, like, oh, I came here to see some zombie sex and I barely got two scenes. They're key jangling. Like, how does that apply if you? I don't get it.
The film isn't. The film is not about the sexual exploitation of. Oh God. Yeah. Why aren't you? Godzilla 5 is asking, why aren't you showing the video? Technical problems, insanity. So it's just audio, which I've done before. So it's nothing new. Nothing new in Sea Monster Live. So just bear with it. It's been like this. I tried to screen share. Okay, I really did. But you don't want to know.
There are so many talented storytellers out there. Yet the movie where Dracula cucks some guy is the one that absolutely had to be told.
Could you just say that any version of Dracula is about cucking a guy? Features Dracula cucking a guy. Like that's technically what happens in the novel. Okay, like
Lore accurate Dracula do be cucking.
yeah, like. Yeah, it's like the 1931 Dracula. He cucks Jonathan. By by hypnotizing Mina. Like you got Gary Oldman's Dracula. Oh, Gary Oldman's Dracula in the 90s.
Mega cucks Keanu Reeves.
He cucked John Wick. Okay. So this is not new. Like it's like, okay, so we're just not allowed to have. So by that logic, no one should be allowed to make an adaptation of Dracula ever again. Like that's just so like because unless you're going to be consistent with this standard, why even say this?
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of weird.
It is. All right, what else? All right, what else we got left?
Okay. I know I came off a little strong on that ending segment, but I've calmed down now. I've done my breathing. I guess you could just call it a personal pet peeve. But hey.
Oh my god, do you really say this at the end of the video instead of...
He said it's a personal pet peeve. Oh my!
If he had started by saying this, people would have saved their time.
If he said this is just my opinion, Adam did this. we still gave him shit, but even he did that. Even Adam did this, where he said this is my opinion, guys. Like at the start, I think even he did this at the start of his videos, just to try to ease people into it. Like when Adam did something right with his Nosferatu videos, and someone else did, and someone else did it wrong.
Yeah, that's a low bar, and you
Whoa.
still failed it.
Like, how do you not? Yeah, I mean, it is just kind of worse to like try to claim to be objective, and but then ultimately just and not support it well, only to at the very end just sort of pull the rug from underneath everybody like that, and just say like that was just a personal pet peeve. Rather, it's worse to do that than to just say right out the gate, hey, this is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it or anything, but hopefully I can entertain you with why I did like this film, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, in a way, he was kind of Adam was entertaining in a way. Ironic.
Yeah,
in an ironic sense. I want to make that clear.
So many wrong ideas and thoughts.
There was some funny shit that he would say.
Like a train wreck.
I mean, there was some strong, and yeah, there was some bullshit straw manning about like sorry, it's not a Marvel movie, fucker. Which I gotta try to see where I can fit that line in for my Godzilla vs. Megalon vid.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, again, as you said, yeah, he was entertaining.
Yeah, in a way.
It wasn't a Marvel. Sorry, it wasn't a Marvel movie, fucker. Like I quote that often.
We
nowadays, and
quote
it's all thanks
Twilight
to
for the
Adam.
film fanatics.
Yeah,
It's the title of this stream, even. Anyways.
If you really do like this movie, more power to you. And I encourage you to please kindly explain to me why in the comments, because I'll never understand the appeal otherwise. Thank you all for sticking out my little rant video until the end. I really appreciate it. And while you're here, why not subscribe? Just one click for you makes a world of difference for me. And with all that said, leave to achieve.
And it's done.
yeah.
Oof. Well, like I said, I'm sure he makes. I'm sure there's like other content of his that's better than this. But yeah, that. Yeah, you can see why I suggested that this would be something that for my coverage, for me to do coverage on.
Yeah. You do indeed like to torture yourself.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I can see why why almost everybody why I can pretty much see why so many people have ghosted me for this stream because they didn't want to. Like it's like
Yeah. I mean, sorry I couldn't be here more often. It's just like it just so happens to be at the same time as my holidays. So yeah.
No, that's fine. But yeah, I'm glad that you were able to come on at all, and I'm also glad that O'Shea came on for the little bit he was here for. But yeah, that just about does it for that video, in audio form. But we did it. We got through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Five's asking, why do I hear toilet sounds?
The reason why is because I'm doing my Halloween makeup, and I was just like washing my hands.
You're washing your hand in the toilet?
No, not in the no.
I'm just kidding.
I like to get into character. I'm going to do Pennywise, so I just, a little bit of sewer water is good for the stomach. They told me. No, actually, it's just, no. It was I was in the kitchen sink.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know why he said toilet specifically, but
maybe it just has to do with the water running. I guess going down the drain.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's it. That's fair. Yeah. I guess I gotta ask you, Lau, what's your favorite scary movie? I guess just as a
Oof, as Nicolas Cage once said, like that's a hard question. Like it changes. It depends. I think that Chainsaw Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Sorry, I don't really say the name in English all the time. I think that's one of the best horror movies ever made, but it's really hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's not like an enjoyable movie. Like the point is that it's so rough.
Yeah. It's very raw and gritty. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then this will be really controversial, but I actually also think the same. This one's not even like raw. This is like straight up like a horrible thing, and I don't want this to happen again in movie industry, in the film industry. But since it already exists, I also like Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh.
I know it's a really rough movie. It's in a way like the predecessor for Blair Witch Project, in the sense that people were like, "Is this real?" And it's like partially yes. There's some things that are real, like they literally kill a turtle in it. But
yeah,
even though it's not a movie that I enjoy, I can respect it for the themes it tried to do. Even though I'm completely against like the killing of animals, but as a movie that matters in history, to me, I do think that it matters in cinema history.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't necessarily asking like what you would consider to be the best horror movie, just kind of like just kind of like your favorite, like a movie that you
Oh,
can
okay.
sit back and watch and.
At any time. I think if what was the name in English? Friday the 13th Part 6. I think it's one of the most enjoyable ones. And Alien is something that I was obsessed with for most of my life until the franchise just turned to shit with Covenant and then with Romulus. So
And
yeah,
apparently, if I'm hearing Alien Earth,
dude, I'm so black pilled with this Alien Predator thing because, as I told you, I did watch Killer of Killers like a couple of days ago,
yeah,
and yeah, it's it's funny that it's R rated, but it's so PG-13 at the same time in its
yeah,
philosophy, of how the story goes, and you have like the funny character that's always making jokes. Uh, I just
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think
Uh,
about Predator Badlands being PG-13 at this point? Because like,
I think that, as a friend of mine told me, it's not necessarily bad because the blood will probably all be, like green and stuff like that, so they
yeah, it's gonna be
can
like
get away.
Alien or Android, just kind of,
Yeah,
there isn't gonna be much in the way of like human stuff unless there's like, I mean, considering that they just confirmed that Whale Yutani exists in the Predator universe, so it's basically like at this point, like that they want to do another AVP movie down the line. They're just gonna be building it more toward building up to it, I
yeah,
suppose, rather than just
but
kind of like
like,
saying like fuck it, let's just make an AVP movie.
yeah, but like Prey, I think it has flaws that I could ignore, but seeing the trajectory of things, you know,
Yeah,
I don't really feel like I can even enjoy Prey that much, knowing that this is where it's leading. That this is the type of thing they want to do, the type of, in a way, lack of violence. Like it's very violent, but it doesn't mean anything if you're just doing for spectacle.
yeah,
It's like what a teenager's definition of violence is. At least that's how I see this Killer of Killers thing.
yeah.
So
Like Killer Killers had, yeah, that movie had potential to be pretty cool, actually. And it actually,
it
and the
did.
thing is, it actually did. If you ask me, it actually did start out like the first couple of
Yeah,
stories were
th-
released like pretty
yeah,
deep.
like the first two were really good. Like with the ninjas, like really
Oh
good.
yeah, the ninja stuff was badass, I will say.
That was the best part of the movie. And then on the third one, like,
Oh wait, no, not ninjas,
sorry,
samurai ninjas, and
samurai ninjas, yeah. But the thing is, then on the part with the planes,
yeah,
dude, like a predator shouldn't be that obvious, you know?
yeah, yeah. And if you were to try to square that away in the canon with the other Predator films, it's just like, what the fuck? How?
Yeah, how?
Yeah,
Literally
how?
everyone saw it. Doesn't the ship even get shot by humans that like destroy it when it's like baited into the ocean or something like that?
It flies through a whole like town. Like
Yeah,
somebody would have
people
seen this.
see. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you have like the fucking wraparound where you have like the reason why all these stories are connected to each other. It is absolute bullshit.
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
lame.
yeah. I
And
thought it was so stupid.
I can't even tell. Like, God, the more I think about that fucking mid credit scene, where it just shows like,
Oh,
hey guys, here's Naru and here's Dutch. The more I just
yeah.
hate. I just oh, why?
It's literally going in the same direction as Selling Romulus, and I hate it. And so I
Oh
decided
God,
that
I
I'm
think
not
this is
going to.
worse than Romulus in every
No,
way.
no, way worse. Yeah, Romulus was like the prototype of how shitty they could go, and still have people clapping like seals.
I don't even think
Like,
Romulus.
arf, arf, arf.
Romulus didn't even like. I don't think Romulus even did that. Like the equivalent of what Romulus could have done that was like this would have been like if they just found like a pod and they just found like Ripley there.
No,
Like
what I mean is, no, no, no. I don't think that you need to go that far. What I mean is that Romulus was like the prototype of, like just putting your toes in the water and testing it,
yeah,
and Yeah, but probably they were being made at the same time.
Yeah, they were.
And
Well,
in
yeah, they
their,
were being made at the same time, pretty much. Because
yeah, they
so,
just show the same philosophy in different levels, but it doesn't make Romulus any better. At
yeah,
least not to me.
yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, obviously, I don't think Romulus is quite as like uh, Romulus for me is kind of complicated. Where like I still like it quite a bit. I still find it to be a pretty entertaining alien film. Um, I can definitely like, and I pretty much would even defend some aspects of its story, more than a lot of people would. But I can definitely agree with some things that are with the. There's definitely a good number of things that you could point to that are wrong with it. Maybe go, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that. Um, yeah,
yeah,
like I can never bring myself to hate it. I mean, that's why I'm less. Maybe I am less black pilled about it, but I am just kind of like. But it's kind of one of those things of like, I'm gonna wait and like, let me wait and see, because I'm still seeing Predator. Like, I'm intrigued enough about Predator Badlands, but I am more cautious about it now. So I want to like obviously, like I want to give it its day in court. It's like, who knows? Maybe they might actually. Maybe this one they would nail it. Who knows? Maybe it's been a bit rocky in terms of how they've been doing Alien and Predator so far, but maybe we're gonna go. This is like a good step in the right direction. I don't know. Sea Monster, who will you be for Halloween? I am gonna be the Invisible Man. But yeah. I don't know if you can hear me, Lau, or if you're somewhere. But yeah. All right, I think it's time for us to sort of like close out the stream then. At this point, yeah, yeah. I guess any final thoughts on the video?
Um, please, if you're going to make a video, stop bait posting. Just yeah, even if you even if you don't get to do like every single little thing that you don't like about the movie, just pick three things, explain why they're bad. That's it. And if you get good engagement, maybe make a part two. But like, stop it,
Yeah.
stop it, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, and all I could say is, yeah, I guess my final thoughts would be, if you believe that something has incompetent storytelling and you're gonna say in your video that it has incompetent storytelling, especially when it's a film like Nosferatu that's kind of generally been well received for its good storytelling, by us included, obviously. I would expect you to kind of maybe try better next time. Better luck next time, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this video wasn't good. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, thank you, Lau, for coming on. Thank you, Antonio, and thank everyone else for stopping by here. Yeah, I mean, I wish the video stuff started earlier, and I wish I was able to have had the screen share stuff sorted out. But what can you do? I'm gonna be sure to have it all time stamped so that anybody listens to this on the playback, they can just get right to the part where we start where the coverage of the video actually begins. But yeah, hope you all have a happy Halloween. As far as like when my next stream will be, I'll be sure to let you all know that, because at this point I'm kind of trying to figure it out regarding my next stream, because we got Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein and Predator Badlands both coming out at the same time. And obviously I'm going to be checking both of them out. So I'm trying to decide if I should just come. Like honestly, one of the ideas I've been spitballing here is actually just doing a stream on both of them. Like where one section of the stream would be about Frankenstein and the other would be about Predator, and just kind of go from there. Because I have another stream planned for much later down the line after that. That's Godzilla related, but we'll get there. We will get there. In the meantime, follow me on here. And I have a video that's in the works. Hopefully, it'll be done by the end of the year. That's further updates and news will come when they come. But you all know what to do. If you want to subscribe to my channel, here it is. You can follow me on Twitter, KCI, Sea Monster, so on and so on. And obviously I appear on other people's streams like the Zimcast, most notably. As well as check out other folks like Minecraft World, Black and Rudy, Gojin, Makai Phantom, so on and so on. And obviously, for recommendations, go watch Nosferatu 2024, great movie. Go watch Scream, the original Scream, really good. Go watch John Carpenter's Halloween. Stay safe out there, because everyone's entitled to one good scare, because it's Halloween and all. And stay spooky.
Even your grandma that has heart problems, scare the shit out of her, get that inheritance, go. Make some bread.
Make some bread. And as for you, Lau, what are your recommendations or anything?
Well, I do need to do this. I don't want to sound annoying, as the fan of something that tells everyone to watch it, but go watch the Chainsaw Man movie as long as it's on cinemas, because it's like watching Spider-Verse on a small TV versus like the huge screen. Animation, when done right, is just the most beautiful thing ever, and it's good to see it in the biggest screen possible. If you haven't watched season 1, give it a try. That way also you'll know if you like the story enough to continue, and you'll save up some money. And if you don't want to watch that, next month we're going to get The Running Man, so hopefully that one's good as well. If you don't want to watch anything now, if you cannot access Frankenstein because maybe it's not in your area, there's still a lot of good stuff coming. So happy for Halloween. And oh, by the way, like I do have a channel now, so if you can go and subscribe if you want to. If you don't, never mind, no problem. I've made only one video so far talking about one of my creations for part of a story I'm making. And I will do more soon. It's just that I'm on holidays, so only the first video, and that's all I have so far. Just happy Halloween, everyone. Yay!
Happy Halloween! Bye.
Bye.